Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Mental Health Check-in or Checkup, depending on what you want to call it. This is Keona. This is your host, and with me tonight I have Mike.
How's it going, guys?
And I have Brock.
Happy to be back.
And we have Jacob.
Hello, everybody.
And we have Josh.
Whoa.
And Kristal.
Hi.
All right, so there's some thunder going on where I'm living. So basically with the first mental health episode, what we did was we kind of just we just talked about certain things that just emotional, mental issues that we had, and sort of just wanted to delve a little deeper into who we are as people and sort of bring that up to our audience. And with this one tonight, we have Brock here, and if he wants to talk about anything, because it's your first time on the mental health show. So basically what I want to do is just ask everybody how they're doing first of all. And Brock, we'll start with you. How's your week been? How's your month been? Really? I think it's been like a month.
It has been quite a while since I've been on any of these. Not because I don't want to, it's just that I just haven't had anything to talk about with it. It has been rather eventful up until this past week, because to let everyone know, I am a consistent worrier. I suffer from something that used to be called dysthymia, but it is now coined, I believe, persistent depressive disorder. It is, you basically have a low-hanging level of depression at all times, and many things can trigger it easily, and then you just hang up on it. Pretty much it just needs to level itself out. I used to see extreme counseling and stuff for it. I've gotten a lot better in situations and coping with it through meetings with my youth pastor, who is now basically like a second dad to me, and my mom, who I'm extremely close with. But anyways, that leads into what is going to happen here just as a preset. I got recently told the news. I've been in the process of renting and owning a house from my parents. It's the house I grew up in. And literally 2 days ago, I purchased it. So I am now a homeowner. I recently am doing, thank you, I'm doing better than I was the last few weeks because, again, being a worrier, I didn't know if I could afford it, do whatever. And then I forced myself to sit down, look at all of my bills, write everything out. And after my mom beating me over the head that I will be able to afford this for about the past 2 years as it's gotten close, I realized that I'm actually stupidly okay on bills, and it made my life, and I'm going to be very okay. And I can actually, afford it, and I'll be good, and I can do the things I need to do. Other than that, work has been good. I work at we're going to try that one more time. I work at a window manufacturer. So we've been lucky enough to stay in business. We've been doing actually shockingly better since all this started. For, not to be coy, riots happen. Windows need to be replaced. So I'm actually doing okay. And
I can imagine.
Yeah, I am actually doing shockingly well. I'm going to be looking at getting a new vehicle in the next few months also. So it's been pretty aces for me, other than stupid stuff that, like I said, trips off my dysthymia every now and then. I am actually doing shockingly well for what I normally am. So
do you have to move at all, or are you?
No, I've been renting it. I've been renting to owning the place I was going to buy. So I've literally it's now mine.
Oh, that's perfect, man. That's a good setup right there.
Yeah, exactly.
What's interesting is about a year ago we moved from my old hometown of Honolulu to Florida. So
nice.
So
heck of a move.
That's a heck of a move, man.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
Also, my first time out of Hawaii, interestingly. So I'd never gone anywhere until now. So
did you?
Then the lockdown happened.
Yeah. Cool.
So now I can't go anywhere. Yay.
Yeah.
I live in Michigan. I've always lived. The last time I left Michigan was when I went to Walt Disney World in 2003. Since then, I have never left Michigan.
I just missed you by 16 years.
Yeah, I've even lived in the same exact. I have lived in this house with my parents since December 2001.
That's not far off from me. I think mine would have been 98. Moved here when I was in 4th grade, I think.
For me, it's 95. I was about like 2 or 3 when my family moved from a smaller, like a small 2-story house on Higbee Road to where we live now, which is got five bedrooms and a guest room, 5 bathrooms.
Nice.
Sweet.
Very nice.
To a lot of my friends, they consider it like a mansion. But yeah, I've lived at home for I'd say about 24 years, and it's been nice. I'm mostly here now just saving money because living down in New York City or anywhere else would cost an arm and a leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I lived at home. I didn't move out for the first time. I only didn't live not in this house for a year, and I didn't move out for the first time till I was 26. So it's significantly cheaper here than in New York. I live in Wisconsin.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here feeling like a kid. I'm the only one, I think, that never really, aside from you, Kristal, like, the only time I moved was when everything happened last year.
I was an Army kid. I moved all over the place. Born in Yuma, Arizona, moved to El Paso, raised there for most of my life until my dad got an opportunity in New Mexico. Or was that? No, it was New Mexico first. And we stayed there in like this really rinky-dink town. I don't remember where it was now. Yuma, Arizona. I don't remember the town I lived in. But
that shows how memorable it was.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, it was like super tiny town, but beautiful house. And then we moved to Enid, Oklahoma, and then we stayed there for like a few months, and then headed back to El Paso, and I've been here ever since. All over the place for me.
I remember you always tell me stories about Yuma and how fucking hot it gets.
Oh my God! Like I was only there for like a month. After I was born, so I have no recollection of that place. But my dad was on there on base, and it got so hot out there. Like there's wild donkeys out there, and it would get so hot out there that they would have to raise a black flag on some days, and that's basically like don't leave the house.
Oh no!
Because if you walk on the tarmac, your shoes are gonna melt to the floor.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
Whoa.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And those are combat boots.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It's
crazy.
So we moved out of there real quick, and then my dad left the Army, or left the Marines. And yeah, we were just all over the place. But El Paso's always been my home.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yeah, Hawaii's always going to be my home. I don't consider myself a Floridian. I'm not Florida man. Okay.
I don't think anybody would want to
God.
associate themselves with Florida, in all fairness.
Yeah, especially in this time.
Which
Yeah.
I've gotten a job at a call center.
Nice.
Which,
Oh.
yeah, it's really good pay. I just got paid for my first week, and it came out to like $311 for 1 week.
Was that
Wow.
the interview you were talking
That's
about
pretty
when
good.
we had the other podcast?
Yeah.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I landed it, and it's been really great. There's a lot of it's a very lovable community in the work environment, but the people we call, oh my God, you East Coast people are so mean. They're the worst people ever.
Some can be, some very well.
Most.
They yeah.
I
found that out too.
Yeah. I make no
On
sales.
behalf
in
of the East Coast, I apologize.
You're one of the good ones, Mike. You're one of the
Yeah,
good
you're
ones.
one of the good ones, but I make
Yes.
no sales on the East Coast. As soon as I make it to West Coast, I'm pretty good. But Jesus, it's honestly getting to the point where it's funny how mean these people are. Like I there was one call, it was so funny. It was just, we don't hear the ringing. It's just silence on the line until they pick up.
Oh God.
That's silence, silence,
No.
silence.
Oh,
Fuck
no.
off! Silence, silence.
Oh no!
I'm lucky enough that I haven't gotten any creeps yet, but yeah,
Knock
there's
on
some
wood.
mean people.
Yeah, no kidding.
Mhm.
Good God.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can only
There's some
imagine.
just to everybody listening in. Be nice to call people like telemarketers.
Yeah.
Be nice to them. They don't want to call you. We really don't want to call you, but it's our job, so we have to.
I love how you're like, we really don't want to call you people.
Yes.
Like,
Trust me, I'd let the phone just sit there.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's so weird because like people will get mad at us and they'll say like, "Oh, you need to get a real job" or something like that. They'll say like, so I was like, he was like, I'm so tired of you guys calling, blah 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 blah, and I'm like, I'm very sorry, sir. I don't mean to cause you any stress. He's like, well, it doesn't seem like it because you're calling me, and I'm like, I don't want to call you. I don't want to talk to you right now, but I can't hang up until you tell me don't call me again. But he like some of these people don't get it. Like they don't say it outright. I need you people to say for like verbatim, don't call me again or anything to that effect. Otherwise, I can't put you on the DNC.
That's a good tip actually for
Yeah.
everybody who's listening. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
if you don't want us to call you, say, I don't want you guys to call me anymore. Don't complain that you guys call me so much, because that's not going to solve anything.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna lie, except for the days you come home and you're really frustrated, I love the fact that you're working at a place like this because sometimes the things you tell me are hilarious.
They are. Oh my god. I had one call. See, the program that I use, it's like all blank. There's no information. As soon as somebody picks up, all their information shows up. So I need to be real quick in reading their name, saying, hi, may I speak to Carrie? And I have to read it really quickly. And I swear to God, it must have been an angry ex or something, or it was actually their name.
Mm.
But this woman got angry at me for saying it. I'm like, hello, may I speak to Gaylord?
Oh no. Oh no.
And she's like, do you mean Gaylord? Why would you? She just got so upset and hung up on me.
Oh no.
And I just like called my supervisor and I just pointed to the name and he just started laughing and everybody around me started laughing. I mean, those are the good times where it's
That was a name, Gaylord. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
Gaylord.
so happy that my parents did not name me Gaylord,
Yes.
because then I would probably have a problem with that.
Yes.
That name confuses me so much because we have storage boxes at work that are called Gaylord boxes. I'm like, why are they called that? What's the point? I don't know. What?
Dude's name was Gaylord. He invented it.
I guess. Sure.
I'm really lucky because I work at Home Goods and literally all I do is just process the items we get. I just take them out of the box and just shove them out onto the floor. You know, I don't really commute with the customers all that much.
Yeah, at my job, I get to work from home. So I've been working for the past how many months now have we been in quarantine?
4 or 5.
Like 5.
I honestly lost track.
This year
but
hasn't happened.
March, April.
yeah,
May,
this year is just a commercial. But anyway, for my job, I don't have to talk to customers, at least not over the phone, and if so, not often. My job is that I'm communicating with other banks through like our special communication, but that's all like on the internet. I don't have to be on the phone for like 8+ hours a day, which is one of the things I like about my job.
Lucky?
What's the company that you work for?
Yeah,
I work for Bank of New York Mellon.
Hmm.
It's one of the largest banks in the world now.
Nice. Very nice.
Mm. Mm.
So Jacob, how's your week been?
It's been a little rocky because I kind of binged on the Criterion Blu-ray 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble, and I bought a shit ton of titles, only to discover that some of them were faulty. Like, some of them started skipping.
Uh-oh.
And so
Oh man,
I've returned them. Yeah, I've returned them. You know, I've there were some though that seemed to play just fine, so I'm holding on to them. But there are some movies that I've returned. Apparently, Mike suggests it might be something with the Blu-ray player. I'm thinking about buying another one just to see if that's really is the case. Yeah, but I've been kind of anxious lately because it takes so friggin' long for the return to come back to the account.
you could get an Xbox One X because that plays 4K and Blu-ray.
Nice
Okay.
I
plug.
didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if I actually do get it, do they play them on Nintendo Switch?
Nope.
No.
Do they have Blu-ray players?
No,
No.
It's all on.
Why the
think they
hell
play
don't
Blu-ray.
they?
No, you want to hear something stupid. Trust me, you want to hear something stupid. I'm a PlayStation person for life. You know what does not play 4K Blu-rays? A PlayStation Pro. It's the stupidest thing ever. It's a Sony product.
Okay,
Dude,
Brock,
I put in a
Brock,
4K one, and I was like, "Why is this not working?"
chill. So anyway, that's the thing. I am anxious because sometimes I feel like
Feel your pain, bro.
sometimes it
it's
feels like the
funny.
money's not going to go back on my card, even though they said they would, because it's been a few days, for 3 days, and like the money hasn't come, and I'm worried that somehow it's not going to end up back on the account. So, it's just one of those things. It's my brain has this thing where it just has to come up with the worst possible scenario when things look a little iffy or something, when it's not going.
Oh, yeah.
I hear you, buddy. Trust me, I hear you.
Yeah, me too.
But that's what this podcast is for.
Exactly.
Check tomorrow. Check in your check your accounts tomorrow and stuff, because it might go through, because it's just been a weekend, so maybe it just didn't go through yet.
Okay,
Sometimes that happens. Yeah. And okay, who hasn't answered the question about how your week has been? Josh?
It has been a long week. It just okay. It's threefold.
Oh boy,
It-
he
I
has
know
a
a little bit
lot
about
to
it,
talk
though.
about.
Boy.
It's like 3 or 4-fold. Firstly, I have to get used to. No other way of saying this. I'm getting used to being the housewife
Yes.
while she goes to make the bacon, but it's partly just trying to get it's been a bad mental health week, just in emotionally getting motivation to do stuff, and I let those thoughts creep in sometimes, like, oh my god, I need to do something, and I worry about the money that I'm dwindling down. When we first started doing the podcast, and I had gotten a lot of unemployment at that time before my employer basically tried to force me to go back, and I said, well, the city hasn't lifted the lockdown order at that point. So they said, okay, so you're not returning to work, right? And it was basically forcing my hand, like, all right, I have to say yes, and they had to formally fire me, or take it as I quit rather than them firing me. So at that point, I had like $3,000 in my account, so I was coasting along just fine. And today, I'm at just under $30.
Oh man.
But that was all the way back in April, so it's been mostly a pretty decent time, and I'm pretty happy with the fact that I was able to make $3,000 stretch that much. But it's probably not a lot. You guys are probably like, oh shit. Yeah, I go through that in a week.
But for people barely starting their lives, like, that's a lot.
That's
And I've been constantly worrying, like, oh crap, how am I going to get this stuff? How am I going to pay for this and that? Which probably next month I'm going to cancel a lot of stuff, including the streaming services I was able to afford. And me and Kristal are going to go on a phone plan soon.
Mm-hmm.
But it was that, and worrying about. I was pushing myself to finish my newest video that's probably going to be out by the time this this episode comes up, I don't know. I think I said that last time I was on a podcast. The Logan, I'm doing a one excellent scene, and I thought, all right, the one marvelous scene did really well for me. If I can get this, maybe I can get a little bit more of an audience, and I can use that audience to go to my movie that screened yesterday. But I couldn't force myself to keep going because I was kind of trudging myself into like forcing myself to edit, and I didn't feel it at all. My heart wasn't in it, and I was just staring at a Premiere Pro timeline most of the time, like, fuck, just edit. And I ended up just watching the movies instead because I wanted to reconnect with the X-Men movies, and that was a good call on my end, but it was still like I'm taking away a potential audience, and it's frustrating, especially when you're kind of forcing yourself to do something that you know you're not completely into, but you're doing it more for, well, it could benefit me, maybe, on blind faith.
Right.
And I didn't want to abandon it because I really liked the video that I wrote. Keona got to read the script a while ago because he is our expert in the group.
I see what you did there. Clever.
And yeah, now the editing's going smooth. After we finish this episode, I'm probably gonna get Kristal to be my camera operator, and she's gonna help me record some stuff that I'm on camera. But just the road getting to that was very frustrating. And thirdly, it's just to be really comedic before I get to something really serious that happened. Being the housewife of the couple is very frustrating because you're kind of learning how to do normal shit that you take for granted. And as Kristal has been so graciously sharing with everybody this whole week. Okay, so she started working out before she would, like when she would wake up, she would do those Chloe Ting workouts, like get a flat stomach in 2 weeks, kill yourself with these videos. And in fairness, you know, Kristal's looking pretty lean.
I'm getting some results.
Yeah, but
Nice. Good.
the downside of it is her clothes stink.
Yeah.
So one time she told me to do the laundry, and I did it very late, and I tried to dry the clothes, and when I pulled them out of the dryer, almost everything smelled of just sweat, just the musky sweat, except for, ironically, her workout clothes. So earlier in the week, I saw my father-in-law washing his sheets, and he poured bleach, and I realized, okay, that's it. Just get some bleach, put it in there. It'll help out with the smell.
Oh.
So you can see where this is going.
No.
Oh no.
Put that down. No.
So I come home from a long day of work because I my schedule is 2:30 to 10. So I don't get out till late. And I get home and I see a basket of clean clothes on my bed. I'm like, Josh, thank you so much. I didn't even have to ask you to do the laundry.
I love how Keona's just sitting back like, oh no, here it comes.
Oh, thank you so much. And I was just so exhausted from the day. I'd been yelled at, cursed out, blah, 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 blah. And he starts folding the laundry. He's like, well, what are these weird stains on them? I'm like, Josh, did you put bleach in them? He's like, yeah, just to get the smell out. I'm like, Josh, bleach bleaches things. And he just like, he stared at me blankly for like 2 seconds. And then I saw the fear creep onto his face. I was so mad. I'm out of pants. I don't have pants now. And this happened in the middle of the week when I had work. So I didn't have pants to go to work. And
Gosh, you look so ashamed.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I hadn't gotten my paycheck yet, so I couldn't like rush to the store and get myself pants for the next day. So I had to wear this skimpy little skirt to work, that actually fit the dress code. And
Which they're very lenient on that
yes,
dress code.
yes,
there was a
they
girl
are.
that went in there with fucking yoga clothes.
Yeah, I mean, it's against the dress code, but she never got in trouble, so I don't know.
If
yeah,
you can
they're
cheat
very
the system,
lenient.
do it. But
Yeah, they're
God,
really
you have
cool.
one.
so we had a little fight then and there, well, quote unquote fight.
Yeah, we don't fight. We don't have yelling matches or anything like that.
What we do, we just get really angry until we're just silent. You know, some shit's going down with us when we're chattermouths. We won't shut the fuck up.
We don't shut up. But when we're quiet and we're not talking to each other and we're not even looking at each other, we're angry. Or at least I'm angry most of the time.
She gets angry. She's got a temper, and I just get scared of her anger.
I don't yell at you though.
You don't yell, but you've got a glare that could freeze states.
But and then he just felt so bad, and like I started feeling bad for making him feel
and then
bad.
right when I thought everything was gonna ease up, she grabbed one of her shirts, and I shit you not, if you guys can see me, she did this with the shirt. Imagine my phone is the shirt. I'm sorry for only listeners that are listening to this, but she grabs the shirt and just goes, and she went like that, and I was just like, oh god damn it, what the fuck happened now? And I figured I needed her to breathe, so I went to my van outside and I just stayed in there for
He just ran away from me.
5 minutes.
And then we just started joking about it. I went out there and yeah, we just started joking about it. Now I'm shoving it in his face every single chance I can get. Because come on, Josh, bleach.
Okay, but I can also throw back at you the Ghost of Tsushima stuff.
No, that
Yes.
was just me getting carried away. Okay,
Uh-oh.
that was just pure stupidity.
I'm sorry, just again, I'm trying to lighten the mood before I get to the really serious thing, but okay, so literally an hour before we started recording this, I finished the tuned up last night. You guys will hear it soon, and I went ahead and I didn't feel like editing yet, so I wanted to play some Ghost. I'm on Act 3 right now.
Okay.
And I wanted to get on with the story. It was at that mission where you have to go back to a place and leave something. I'm gonna leave it at that just in case anybody.
I gotcha. But
as you're going there, you know, I saw there were a few places I wanted to check out, and Kristal has been obsessed with doing the standoff thing. For those of you who don't know, and Ghost of Tsushima, you know, it being a samurai thing, there's a mechanic where you press up on the D-pad and Jin gets off his horse and you engage with the Mongols, and
he says, "Fight me!"
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
engage me, you cowards.
that movie that game is, his voice actor is so much better in Japanese.
Yes,
I'm just
yes.
gonna say. Like he sounds like such a puss in English, but in Japanese it's like, oh god, okay, I don't want to mess with him in an alley. But anyway, you hold down the triangle button and they'll be like, huh?
They're like, fake you out.
And then you have to release the button at the right point to do like a Minafune Sanjiro kind of strike. And if you unlock some stuff, you can do it to like multiple people.
I've never heard you sound so weeb.
Shut up.
And you get like you get extra what is that, like
resolve.
focus or something, or resolve?
Yeah. And
it helps you live.
And starting in Act 3, the game gets ridiculously hard with that, to the point where I wonder if it's the game, like if something's wrong, because we've done it where we release the button and nothing happens. Like we're just that late or we're that early. I don't know.
Josh, I've never won a standoff in Act 3. I never won one.
Okay, so it's not just me. But,
yeah, they're difficult.
But Kristal was just like, oh god. No.
I started making fun of him every single time he lost one.
So then when I wanted to do this story thing, because I was like, all right, Kristal's here for the story. I want to get to the end of this game. Let's go. And she's like, wait, I want to write it. Okay, so I hand her the controller and she starts roaming around and she sees a place and she's like,
I find this Mongol camp and
I was like, okay, cool. Let's knock it out. Just hand it to me. And she's like, wait, I want to do the standoff.
Oh no.
Okay, and what usually happens when something like that goes down, I'm so sorry, Mike and Jacob.
All right, that's all right.
So we get to this point, and usually what happens is we go to these camps, and if she doesn't win a standoff, because she's pretty good at timing stuff, if she doesn't win a standoff...
I am the squat sultan.
Well then.
So
Final Fantasy VII Remake, yo.
So usually what happens is, if she doesn't do it, which I don't think you've ever done one. Like in the standoffs.
I have.
You've done one?
Yeah, in fact, like, you got the story wrong. Like, I started making fun of you a lot because you weren't getting any of the standoffs. And then I'm like, let me try it. And then
you
I
got
do
the
it,
very
and
first one. And then from then on, you haven't been able to get a single one.
Yeah, I haven't been able to get them at all. And they're difficult. And so I'm like, all right, you win.
And
they're hard.
And this was at a particularly hard camp where unless you get a really good streak going, you will get a large portion of your health taken down because they shoot like flaming arrows at you from the air, like from a cannon. So so usually after she fails, she'll hand me the controller really fast and then I'll play. But not this time. This time she failed.
I was determined.
And she was like, okay. I want to try it again. Can you reset the mission? No, I can't reset the mission because then we're going to have to start all the way where, the camp is, which was halfway across the map. And I'm like, just die. Just
go stealth it. Ghost it. Ghost it, man.
But I wanted to win the standoff.
So she's like, I want to try it again. I'm like, all right, just die. So we had to wait until she died, and then she did it again. And I said, all right, you'll do this one more, and then I'll go ahead and take over. She's like, no, I can do this.
It's like a Destiny 2 raid. You're just like, okay, everybody wipe.
Yup.
She does it again. She does it again, and she fails. And then we have to wait again. And she's like, you're sure we can't start it over? No, I'm sure. I'm not about to start all the way over there. So she dies, and she does it again, and dies, and does it again, and dies. There's a point, guys, I shit you not. We spent 10 minutes on this, and I just wanted to get on with the story. And she's like, oh my God, you didn't even want to go here. I'm like, I know, but this would be over so much faster if you just handed me the controller. She's like, no. So then we finally get to the very last one. And it was after the game started taking pity, where after she died so many times, it's like, do you want to try it again? Or do you want to try it again on easy difficulty?
Easy.
Would you like to lower the difficulty?
Don't take pity on me.
Don't fucking patronize us. We're just trying to beat your ass. So we do one last one. And she starts walking. And usually when you walk up to the gate, it gives you the prompt. But for some reason, it wasn't appearing. And she's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? And then they spotted her. And I guess after a certain point, they won't let you do the standoffs. So,
oh, wow.
It's just like, all right, you're going to keep doing this. Just jump into it. Do it stealthy or just wipe them out. And she was just like, fine, here.
I've done camps though where you can actually just stealth kill a couple guys and then like go out of the gate and then just come back in and it'll show up, the standoff thing will show up again, the standoff prompt.
Yeah. Like you can stand off people, stealth a few, and then if you go around to a segregated group, you can stand off again.
My favorite thing that I did was I was sitting up on a hill and I was shooting arrows at them, and then these guys just chased up the hill, and then I just stealth killed them. And then and then I shot another arrow, and then these dudes came up the hill and they're like samurai, and then I'm just stealth killing them in the weeds.
Nice.
And they're
nice.
So
they just got frustrated with me and didn't come by the next time.
So that was
today.
That was today. That was the more trivial stuff. And
but
I'm feeling a lot better.
I'd say that's funny that nobody was harmed. Nothing was destroyed
except for the clock.
Josh is like, you owe me 30 minutes of game time.
Well, it was that. That's all water under the bridge. It was funny, but then there's the other thing that's been kind of getting to me.
Now it's time for depressing
this month. So,
oh boy,
I mentioned it last time that on the 4th of August was when I got kicked out of my house.
Okay.
So it has been over a year of being homeless, technically. And you know, it's already kind of it's felt a little bit weird because even monetarily, the big reason why the money stuff got to me so badly is because it's literally a year later, and even though I was doing good earlier in the year, like, you know, I'm back at the same position I was at last year. So it's been very emotionally and mentally, it's just been really frustrating and upsetting that it's been a year, and through ups and downs, I'm back where I started. And I thought that was it, but then I remembered, oh yeah, last year on the 3rd was when, and this is where I just you start to hear the pin drop. Last year on August 3rd was the El Paso shooting at the Walmart. Just unclench. Yeah, so it's been it when it happens in a small town like this, like, hey, you guys say, like, you guys have your homes. El Paso is very much my home.
Of course.
You hate it here sometimes, especially as an El Pasoan. You hate it here. It's like the lesser of 3 cities. It's the lesser Austin, it's the lesser Las Cruces, and it's the lesser Juarez, but it's such a melting pot.
I wouldn't say that.
But it's such a melting pot that you appreciate the culture that you're in, and you almost everybody here knows everybody in some way or another.
Yeah.
And when something like that happens,
community.
Yeah, and when something like that happens, it messes with everybody. I still remember the day after, like hours before I got kicked out, we were driving around because I needed to do location scouting for Rest Stop. And we were driving around and the streets were so empty. The radio stations were sullen all over. Everybody was just racked with grief. It felt like the whole town was mourning the lives of the people that were lost.
I remember that day, just not hearing, because this is it's a small town, but it's big enough to like be a little overpopulated.
Yeah.
And you're constantly hearing cars. Mm-hmm. Constantly. And that was like the first day in a long time where I walked outside and I could not hear anything.
It was deafening, just the silence, like, oh my God. And I'll be honest, we had like a little thing here in town where, you know, because of social distancing, everybody was invited to go to the site and like drive by vigils, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go, but I paid respect in my own way. And I'll be honest, it would have been fine like that. But yesterday, I was talking with a friend, and it was right when I was putting the finishing touches on the Tuned Up, and it just kind of sent me over the edge emotionally. My friend sent me a trailer. She was like, "Hey, did you hear about this film about the Walmart shooting?" And I instantly started dreading it because I had a feeling I knew who did it. And I saw it and I was right. So rewind time. Last year when I was working at a movie theater, there was this guy that came in. Apparently he's a regular there at this particular cinema, named Charlie Min. And this guy, he is known for he's a documentary filmmaker. He's done films on all sorts of topics, from the Florida nightclub shooting like a long time ago to I think he did the crying women in on the Rio Grande or whatever. I don't remember what it's called. And there was a shooting that happened at a bowling alley in Las Cruces like so many years ago. He did a documentary on that. And last year he was releasing a movie called Who Shot Colosio, which was about the in-person assassination of, I think, a Mexican politician.
Yeah.
And I remember being shook when we were in theaters. We were watching Hereditary. They showed that trailer, and point blank, it was just the assassination right then and there.
Yeah, they showed it.
And then they paused it, and they're like, wait, hold on. Who's that guy? And then they started looking through it, and then it was just, that was the trailer. So he was selling his other documentaries. And when I was working there, me trying to be a filmmaker, I was like, oh, hey, there's a guy. Maybe I can do his trailers for some money, So I told him, all right, here's what I'm about and all that. And he gave me his information. I thought, okay, cool. But then I started to talk with my coworkers there, and I instantly got a bad vibe just hearing about them. When you're working at a theater, you can kind of be disillusioned by everybody, just like, yeah, fuck them. They're all, just babies throwing popcorn on the floor. Just, you kind of start to feel like, screw them. Just don't bother with them. They all suck. But there was something about how this guy was really getting under their skin. So then the shooting happens. And days after the shooting, I went to work. And, my coworkers felt it immediately. And one of them told me the thing that really, really pisses me off is I get a feeling that Charlie Min guy is going to do a movie on the shooting. And it pisses me the fuck off that he'll probably do that. Like, if that trailer was anything to go by on the Who Shot Colosio, just showing an assassination right then and there, it makes you wonder, how is he going to handle such a horrific event? And cut to yesterday, I got to see the result. And that was, on a film standpoint, it was the worst trailer I think I've ever seen in my life. Because it wasn't a trailer.
It was a fucking highlight reel.
It was a highlight reel of a heinous act. It was, no joke, 90% of the situation that was happening that was cut together from footage from Facebook that people were posting at that time, and footage from Twitter that people were posting that were still in the Walmart. And one part really started getting me really angry. I started to feel my face go red, which was, it cuts to inside, how in Walmarts there's like a McDonald's in there typically?
Yeah, by the entrance typically.
Yeah, it's inside the McDonald's and somebody's underneath and you hear and it cuts from that. That was already sending me. It cuts from that to in the aisles, first person, just vertical like that. A guy is running down the aisles trying to get away from the shooter.
Yeah.
And
the part that really, really pissed me off was, it was blurred. At least that. But he showed a clip that I had seen when it happened that wasn't blurred. I knew what was behind the blur. It was just people, after the shooter had left the Walmart, people were walking around just completely dazed and confused, panicking, and some guy's brains splattered all over the floor.
And, when you see that stuff and you see something like that, like the trailer warns you, all right, this is very graphic, but I think back to stuff like, Bowling for Columbine or stuff like that, where even though they're documentaries and they're about something very serious, at least Bowling for Columbine's trailer, I'm assuming, wasn't 90% the security footage at Columbine, and then maybe 10% of like an NRA meeting or something.
Yeah. Right.
So on a film level, that trailer pissed me the fuck off. As an El Pasoan, I felt fucking enraged because I posted this long thread on Twitter just ranting about it. And at the very end of it, I said, a good documentary shows its subjects as people. A bad documentary treats its subjects like props. And that trailer treated the shooting as a prop. And I thought, you know what? On some level, maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. I haven't seen his other movies. But then I found an interview that he did with KVIA in El Paso at ABC7. And apparently he had a focus to group screening. And some people were invited from El Paso. And this is what it says. Please understand how much this pisses me off too, Kristal. Min didn't hold back, leaving many of the extremely graphic scenes from the shooting raw and not blurred in his film.
Are you...
Quote, what has more impact, telling you 25 people got shot or showing you 25 people got shot? I think it's so much more important to see exactly what's going on.
I mean, I just... I'm sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. I just feel for the families because one thing that really pisses me off is that he's releasing the trailer a year from when it happened.
A little over a year.
A little over a year.
Oh, I haven't even gotten to the kicker of it. Were you going to mention like the...
I'm going to mention that right now.
Okay.
A little over a year from when it happened. So that means that he's been working on it since it happened. As soon as it happened, his first thought, let me jump on that. Not, hold on, let me mourn with my community. Secondly, he's actually going to premiere it at the theater that Josh used to work at, which is, for El Pasoans, it's the Bassett Theater, which is literally a hop, skip, and a jump away from the Walmart.
It is 2 minutes, maybe less, driving distance from the Walmart to the movie theater.
Right down the street. And he's going to premiere it there. So that means that all the families who live around the Walmart, whose family members died in that Walmart, are going to, one day go to the theater and just, want to get some happiness in their life. Just have a time with their family. And they're going to see that on the walls, on a big poster about their loved one's death.
And it would be one thing if I could expect this guy to at least treat it with respect. From the trailer, I shared the trailer in the group chat. I don't know if you guys saw it. Did any of you happen to check it out? I sent it to Keona also.
No,
I haven't seen it yet.
I have not seen it yet, no.
I haven't even heard of this, and I have no interest in saying that.
Do yourself a favor, don't watch it, but I also urge you, please share this also, because Charlie Min is a disgusting person, I think, just even doing this. And it would be one thing, again, just doing this if he's at least not a bad person. But after all this came out, I was actually catching up with some old theater workers. And I sent them the trailer. I'm like, did you see this shit? And they were like, yes, I fucking hate it. That's how I found out that it was premiering at Premier Cinemas at Bassett Place. And apparently Charlie Min is also a piece of shit in the theater. Like, he sells his movies like in the lobby while people are walking in. So while you have a family going to see, Toy Story 4, you have him trying to sell his documentary. He's like, oh, hey, you want to see this documentary about this Mexican politician getting killed? And if you show up at the theater early enough, you'll see you'll see that trailer right there on the big screen before the actual trailers for studio movies. So there's that. And apparently he's also yelled at former coworkers of mine for not hanging up posters in the fucking theater. And on top of that, I found out from some people in town that, like, yeah, you know what? He's apparently used the talent here in town from, like, filmmakers here in town just to help him out. And he treats them like shit. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He does the bare basics, comprises most of his movies off of found footage, like stock footage, maybe a couple talking heads, and that's it. He does the bare minimum, and he calls it a style. Keona, you saw the trailer, and that trailer looked terrible. Even with the stuff that he shows that he shot by himself. Yeah. It looks like a high schooler's audio video project.
There's no production value. Now look, I don't know the guy. I don't know his work. I lived in Hawaii when the shooting happened, so there's some distance between what I saw of it and how the community felt. But I would say that he sounds like a sensationalist filmmaker to me, and he's just going for shock value, and he's just going for like easy money,
It's
Like-
not even that he's.
I mean,
The fact that he's going after shock value isn't really the worst thing about it. It's a shock value based on real tragedies so soon afterwards. You know, I'm not even.
Yeah.
If he was going after just wanting to provoke people, that's one thing. But, you know,
Yeah.
so soon after this, Jesus.
Yeah, I agree with
All
you.
right.
And,
Yeah.
It's
And
it's like he has no respect for human life at all.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's what I
infants-
mean. That's what I mean when I say that. Anyway, Kristal, go ahead.
Infants were killed in that. I believe a woman like actually shielded her baby from the shots and fell on it. I think it died because she fell on her baby.
and this movie you mentioned, he must have been working on it from ever since it happened.
From when it happened, at
And-
least maybe months.
And I still gave it the benefit of the doubt. You know, editing a film takes a long time. You know, for Rest Stop, it took me and my cinematographer about 3 months to edit a 36-minute short. So I figured, you know what, maybe the editing did take a while. And for documentaries, I assume it's nothing but editing too.
Oh yeah.
A documentary is where an editor kind of lives and breathes. They're almost a co-director in that sense. So you know what? Maybe that's the bulk of it. But then again, this is partly why it just took so long yesterday, guys. But I just wanted to see, just out of curiosity, like, all right, how far does this go? And I saw an interview all the way back in March where he was talking about the film. And I guess he was going to release the movie a lot earlier too. But then COVID happened. So I feel no shame in saying this. Charlie Min is a fucking piece of shit. And he took this tragedy and turned it into something purely of shock value just because he saw dollar signs in it. And I implore anybody listening to this, if you're in El Paso, don't fucking watch it. Don't watch it. Don't give him the time of day. If anything's playing in theaters, go watch that. Go watch Unhinged. Okay, you know what? It's Russell Crowe in a truck, but you know what? That's all you need, really. Okay, it's Javert in a truck. Don't watch this piece of shit. Don't give him satisfaction. If you see his stuff if you see him in the theater, call him out on it. Say, how dare you come into our town? Because I hear he's from what he told me, he was from New York and he came to El Paso and he fell in love with the people here. If you really love the people here, you wouldn't do something
this.
like this.
No.
Exactly.
You do a film where you talk about the beauty of the town and you exemplify how the serenity of this town
Just
was broken.
that, and then just how everyone came together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Like, we bleed. El Paso as a city bled that day.
Yeah.
And you come into you decide to take this tragedy, this fucking event, and you turn it into, oh, you know what? I made a killing off of that one documentary I did a few years ago. Let me fucking do it again here. People are gonna eat it up because you know what? It's El Paso. And I looked into his IMDb. Most of his movies have a shit rating. He's only got one film like on Rotten Tomatoes. It has a low fucking score, both audience and commercial, or like critical. And in town, the only audience he gets is schools that he goes to. And he talks to the people and they screen his documentaries and they have the kids watch it, you know, for like a class project. And he
No.
explains
That's
his
disgusting.
reasoning. And
That's
people
horrible.
here fucking hate those movies. They suck shit, okay, according to a few people. My producer on Rest Stop told me about that he was making a movie on it. That's how I found out about this originally before the trailer. And he said, I can't fucking believe that he's doing this. I said, how do you know him? He said, he came to my class one time and he showed one of his movies and it sucked shit. Charlie Min, fuck you forever for doing this disservice to our town. And I hope to God this is the last film you ever do. I hope you don't make any money off of this at all. And I hope to God, if there is somewhat of a conscience inside you, although judging by that interview blurb that I said, that I quoted you on, where what has more impact, telling you 25 people got shot or showing you 25 people got shot? If there's some conscience in you, you would take the money that you get from this movie, what little you do get, what little I hope you do get, and donate it to the families in town. You donate it to the people that lost their lives in that horrible act that you decided to exploit for your own gain.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. I'm done. That was all I needed to talk. I'm shaking right now. Holy fuck.
It's good, man. It's good to get it out, man.
Hey, you guys, I hope I wasn't, I hope I didn't come across as callous there with what I said, you know. But yeah.
It's just, he had to, you know, premiere the trailer right after the 1 year anniversary. I think it was like the day after. It must have been like the day or like 2 days after.
It was a few days after,
and right when the wound had, you know, it heals after a year and then it opens up again.
Yeah.
On the anniversary of it.
Yeah.
And then he's got to pour salt in it.
And then you look at the trailer.
Yeah.
And when you look at the trailer and you go to the comments, there are people in the comments that get flashbacks to that day. People talking about as soon as like the active shooter message came up in El Paso's phones.
that was one thing that was crazy about it. We get Amber Alerts all the time.
Yeah.
So our phone starts buzzing and we pull it up, and normally we're like, okay, Amber Alert, blah blah blah, car scene, blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see active shooter in progress, Walmart area.
And then you know,
it's just terrifying.
That comes up, and there are people in the comments talking about how when that came up, I remember immediately panic calling everybody that I knew. I remember talking to everybody, making sure everybody's okay. There are people in the comments talking about I was in prison around that point, and I was freaking the fuck out. I was in California, and I see on the news that El Paso's on the news like that, and I start freaking the fuck out. There was one person in there that talked about how they had a son that worked at that Walmart, and by some miracle they didn't end up going into work that day, and they think if they had gone into work that one day, they could have been gone. You have this shitty trailer that relives the entire event as it happened in those horrifying minutes that the act was happening, and the paranoia that ensued for the rest of the day. And you have people in the comments that are having flashbacks, and there are some people that are like, well, just give the documentary a chance. You know, maybe this isn't just it.
I remember, like, I said that Josh worked at like really close by at that theater, and in the moment there was like a whole mass hysteria. Everybody was freaking out. People were saying, "Oh, there's shots going off in the Walmart," and then people were saying, "Oh, there's an active shooter at the Sila Vista Mall, which is right next door." People are saying like, "Oh, there's shots going off at Bassett," and then I hear that, I freaked the fuck out. I thought that Josh had gone into work that day. I called him up. He hadn't, luckily. But again, nothing happened at the Bassett, but just people, you could hear the shots from the Walmart. That's how close it was. So people were freaking out at Bassett, saying that that the shooter was there, and just panic calling every single person in my family, every single person that I knew, all of my friends. And not only that, but I was in a leadership position in my marching band, and our director had texted us, text everybody, call everybody, make sure that everybody in your section is okay. Mm-hmm. And as a leader, I had to text up all of my friends, every person in the clarinet section, saying, "Hey, are you okay? Are you safe? Is your family safe? Are you guys doing okay?" And like waiting just to hear from them, and not getting text backs, and just panicking, worrying for them, like, "Oh no, what if my friend is dead?" And actually, one of the victims was in a marching band here in El Paso. I don't remember his name, but he went to Horizon High, which is a school here, and he was drumline. And just thinking about, like, what if that was one of ours? I mean, he was young, like, I think he was a sophomore. And just thinking, like, what if that was somebody that I cared deeply about? And then this guy just has to open up the wound, pour salt in it. It was horrifying that day. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
No, you're good. No,
Oh, good.
That's what this podcast was for.
exactly.
I'm so sorry, Brock. You just kind of feel like, oh shit, this all got.
No, dude, I will tell you all personally, and we'll get into whatever we want to, but I am a person that consistently does not follow my own advice about how you do not let shit hang because it will eat you alive. And I'm a person that spends a lot of time alone, not because I hate people. Well, I do hate people, but I
honestly,
I have a lot of friends. Exactly. I love all you guys. I have a lot of friends that are introverts, and we all, you know how they say, not to be offensive, they say how women's periods sync up. It literally is pretty much we've had enough time away, our social like alarm bell goes off and we need to see people. So I have these moments where I don't talk with people, I don't call people. I know I have multiple friends that would pick up at 3 a.m. in the morning if something was wrong, but I don't talk about it. And then after a while, a time bomb goes off and I'm in the worst mood I've ever been in my life because I don't let shit get out. So trust me, it needs to get out. That's the point of why we're doing this. You're all good. Mm-hmm. I wasn't expecting something like that, but it's like, if you got to talk about it, man, you got to talk about it. There is absolutely nothing to be sorry about. Do not worry about it.
Thanks.
No problem. You're absolutely very welcome. Do not worry about it. That I'm fortunate enough to live in a smaller town. I won't say that stuff's not happened, but I've been fortunate to not have something like that happen. I cannot imagine something like that.
I mean, like,
what's sad is that I remember that happening, but you know, all these mass shootings, they happen so frequently.
And that was go ahead.
That they happen so frequently that it just kind of I just didn't put much thought into it after it happened. You know, and then this happens, and then this fucker decides to release this trailer, and yeah, you know, and now and hearing from you guys and how, you know, how that affected you, you know, that just gives it a whole new meaning, the shooting.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when the Parkland shooting happened, and that really shook me because, you know, like, it was a school, and but it didn't shake me so much where I felt like immense empathy for them. Like, I felt for them, but I didn't feel like I would cry because of it. And then, like, other shootings happened, and they were around the country, and I just felt like, oh no, another one. And then I get that notification, and my dad's in the living room. He's like, holy shit, Kristal, get in here. There's a shooting happening at the Walmart.
Yeah.
And seeing it on the news, and you don't realize how terrifying it is until it happens close to you.
Yeah.
So close to you.
Yeah.
And then the craziest thing that day, was literally 13 hours later, the Dayton, Ohio shooting happened. Not even 24 hours later. I mean, I'm still shaking. Everybody in the city's mourning. We have no idea what to do. And then we see in the news another one. I felt so angry. Like, why is this, why is it normal? It's just, it's all coming back right now just because, you know, the 1-year anniversary and now this fucking asshole.
Oh, good. Let it out. I know nothing except from what you guys have just said about him, and he's a low-life piece of shit from what I'm understanding.
Yeah.
He fucking came to our city And I hated that every news outlet was plastering his face everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to know his name.
Yeah.
You're talking about the shooter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about the fucking piece of shit who did it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say his name.
Oh. All good.
But anyway, yeah, we've ranted. We've gotten it all out.
Okay.
It's something that is going to stick with us for the rest of our lives. And I pray and I hope to God you guys never have to experience anything similar.
And it's not even, and it's gotten to, not to tangent off, I can't remember what the application is called. I've been out of high school for 10 years now, but there's some kind of like message boarding app for the students inside of our high school back, it's not far from here. But like there was a joke bomb threat sent off at our high school. I got family that attends it, and it was just because some kid got made fun of one day. He's just like, I'm going to teach you all. I'm going to put the fear of God in you pretty much. I'm going to say there's a bomb threat. And then the kid just thought it was the funniest thing. And then other people were like, yeah, you're hilarious. I'm like, don't encourage stuff like this.
What?
It's fucking terrible. No one ever should have any thought of mass harm be good for to do in life, capitalize, like you said with this movie. None of this is okay under any stretch of circumstances. It should never be a thought that enters your head, ever, under any set of circumstances. I'm a person that could barely harm fish when I'm fishing. I'm trying to think what enters a person's head to commit or capitalize on something like that. I don't know.
I will say, just to bring things back a little more positively, and after that big purge, excuse me if this might sound self-masturbatory for my ego, but like I said yesterday, I had my short rest stop premiere, and that was like the one thing. It was like a contrasting high and low, just the low of being reminded of everything and the culmination of everything, but then the high of knowing that people actually did get to watch it finally, although temporarily for a limited time. And I'm going to say, Michael, he reviewed my movie.
Awesome.
And I'm telling you right now, Michael, that review was probably one of the sweetest things I've ever read.
Awesome.
I never thought I would ever be compared to Nicholas Winding Refn or Ryan Johnson. So that was just that was just like the highlight of my year.
I haven't read it, but wow.
I'm at a loss for words, honestly. Like,
nice.
For those who don't know, I have a tendency to give a lot of high praise to films, but I promise that I'm always honest about my opinion. And after hearing your rant today about the shooting in El Paso, it just kind of reaffirms my opinion of the film. And again, just to say it in person, I'm just incredibly proud of what you created, and I just wish you all the success in the world.
Yeah, I tell you, following everything that happened from that point on, I remember when we were shooting it, we all kind of felt this. I felt it for a while that I didn't even want to continue working on the film because it felt like such a serious thing happened. And how can I even worry about doing a Stephen King movie? I should be doing something for the community. But it was almost like it was an affirmation of, we can't let that tragedy define the town. It needs to be what I always knew it was, which is a melting pot of culture, which includes different arts. There's people around town that did murals of you know, El
Murals
Paso strong. There were people that
murals are a huge thing in this town.
that
They're
sold
everywhere.
that sold El Paso strong shirts with the El Paso star on them, and they donated all their proceeds to the to the family members. And I just thought it may not be much, but being able to at least create and show that there's people here that are more than just the quote unquote vermin or whatever that the shooter listed in their manifesto, showing that these are people that have dreams and everything, and they're able to rise above the hate that they tried to instill the fear in on that day. Being able to show this town is more than just the shooting. It's people that create. It was a driving force throughout the rest of the film, and especially that month.
I mean, Mexican culture is very, very much based on family.
Oh, yeah.
Family is sacred in Mexican culture. And it really shows through in this town.
Well, I think you guys are lucky in that regard, because El Paso, it's a pretty well-known city beyond the shooting. Like, it was like, it's not like people suddenly knew what El Paso was after that shooting happened, right? So it's like I think people do know that more. Like, I think it has more of a definition beyond that already.
Yeah.
It's not like people didn't know, hadn't heard of Aurora, Colorado, or Newtown, Connecticut, or anything before the tragedy that happened there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like this. It's not as if people are already knowing what El Paso is. You know?
The home of Chico's Tacos.
The home of Chico's Tacos, and it also just hit because I remember just feeling like, oh shit, we're on the news. And the last time, go ahead.
It just felt so weird. Like, it felt like a million eyes were on us. Just and you could actually feel like the world staring at you.
And it always felt surreal because I guess it comes from being a film or wanting to be a filmmaker, that like you kind of hope that if the town you're a part of is ever mentioned, it's because of a good thing, or maybe on an like on a somewhat selfish level, like maybe it'll be mentioned because of me. Like, imagine if Keona, your town was mentioned on like CNN, like, oh man, native islander Keona Tang launches the best podcast in the world, or something like that.
Nice.
Damn straight.
Oh yeah.
So it'd be like, you know, so the last few times I remember it being really mainstream, aside from Breaking Bad, where they kind of, I excuse Breaking Bad though.
No, because that's one like negative side to how media, you know, shows off El Paso.
I know El Paso because of Eddie Guerrero, and therefore I loved El Paso because I barely knew it.
Eddie Guerrero, man.
Yeah.
Frog Splash.
That's the good stuff. But then you have these shows depicting El Paso like a crime-riddled town on the same level as
walking in with a big iron on his head.
But yeah, we have things like Marty Robbins just like gushing over the town. He loves the place.
You got Jaime Reyes, my boy. I can never gush about Blue Beetle enough.
But then you see all these shows saying like, oh, the cartel's like in El Paso. Like, no, El Paso's one of the safest cities in the world.
I think the only
in the country.
I think the only film that ever really got me like upset about that, and this is probably gonna be a really weird thing because by all intents and purposes, I do like the film. I love it, and I respect the filmmaker immensely. But Sicario is a hard watch, just because they treat like kind of going to El Paso and then going to Juarez right next door, like just like you're diving into the 7th level of hell.
Well, Breaking Bad treated it like that too, because like I remember, I don't know, Hank was like, oh, we're gonna be heading over to El Paso, and everybody's like, yee. Like that. In fairness, though, that's how they treated it in Albuquerque in that show. And then when he gets there, like the guys are pretty much like, dude, Albuquerque's worse than El Paso. Like, there's
you guys heard of this blue meth that's dealing around in the streets there?
We literally
it's pretty
have
nuts. I think the colonel's involved.
We literally have a radio show where one of like the little skits that they do is Florida or Albuquerque man. Yeah. They're on the same level. Albuquerque and Florida, like there's crazy people in them. There's a lot of crime that goes on in Albuquerque, and you don't hear that in El Paso.
Did I tell you guys that I saw a snake in my front yard this week?
What?
No.
What?
No.
Yeah, like I was taking my dog for a walk and she literally bumped into the snake and the snake just like bounced right out of there. Bounced
have
into
a
like
dog?
the firms or something. Yeah, I have a dog.
I had a toad outside.
Well, that's like in Florida. I always hear
That's in
they have
Florida.
the snakes and all the random stuff because the celebrities that buy all this crap just like I don't want it anymore.
Leave it out in the
What dog
wild.
do you have? What dog do you have? What kind?
Carol Baskin.
Oh, she's a Labrador pit bull.
Oh,
Nice.
cute.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was like a I don't know what it's called. It's called apparently like one of the names for the snake is like a racer or something. So it's like it literally raced out of there.
Wow.
And apparently it's harmless. It's harmless towards humans. So
Josh, I want to say, you brought up bowling for Columbine.
He took a second to go let our dog in.
Okay.
oh, Mike,
Okay.
did you see Josh's cameo in the movie?
Yeah, it was in the in the bar.
In the bar.
Didn't he play the waiter?
Yes.
Yep.
Did you stub your toe?
I didn't
That's
stub
great.
my toe. I left and I sat on my knees like this for too long.
Oh,
So I started walking around like Simon Belmont in Castlevania.
Josh, I want to say,
Go ahead, Jacob.
Josh, I would say you brought up Bowling for Columbine. I just want to say that that movie has gotten some flack recently too, from left-wingers actually, because Michael Moore, I don't think he even once mentioned that the Columbine shooters were white supremacists. I think he kind of treated like it as like a mystery of why they did it. Like I think he implies that they were bullied or something, which just isn't true. Actually, that's a common misconception.
Yeah.
So,
It reminds me a lot of like a lot of people outside of El Paso. I'm gonna mention that. Like they were saying, oh, the guy who did it, he's got some mental health issues. He's an incel. All this stuff. Like poor guy, we should have helped him. He had mental health problems, and his family didn't help him. And everybody in El Paso was like, "Fuck him. Who
Yeah,
cares?"
Mm-hmm.
Who
That's true,
cares?
I think, for some of these cases, but not this case, because I just looked it up more on Wikipedia while you guys, and apparently, like, it does have a lot of anti-immigrant stuff. Like, he believed in shit like white genocide and all that.
Oh.
Yeah.
It always feels haunting. Like it always feels like really shitty to like for these people to release a manifesto, because it's like a manifesto, like even the idea of doing something like that like implies they think, oh, I'm going to be remembered. And usually when you read their manifesto, it comes across like the ravings of, I'm going to say it just to embarrass the shit out of anybody that thinks of it. The manifestos are the ravings of edgy people who think, all right, if I just do this, maybe I'll be famous, I'll be remembered. And
Finally, people will notice me.
And you read their workings, and for the most part, these people are fucking stupid.
They're losers.
And I always feel for the people that are mentioned in the manifesto, because
Yeah.
it creates this lingering feeling of like, did I do something to encourage him in any way? Could I have done something? Like,
yeah. Like, could I have done something differently? Like the Fisher King.
I was watching The Fisher King with Robin Williams because I'm doing a video on that later on next month. I want to release it before his new documentary.
The documentary.
I
That
cannot
looks
wait
so
for
by the way,
that.
by the way, we're tackling that for the streaming wars. I forgot.
Yes.
to
Hell
mention.
yeah.
We're
Yes.
tackling that.
But
Yes.
in The Fisher King, there, early on, this main character played by Jeff Bridges, he's this Joe Rogan, Howard Stern kind of guy that's just like very
Talk show
abrasive.
host, and,
He's a piece of shit, and he tells this one guy who's kind of a nut job, like, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? Look out for yourself.
He says like, oh, I'm happy because I met this girl. She's wonderful. And then he like completely shoots him down, saying like, oh, they're a different breed. You don't like meddle with them. They don't care about you.
It's us or them.
Yeah, it's us or them.
And he kills the lady in Terry Gilliam style, mind you. So it's very creepy, but oddly enough, it flashed me back to you guys remember, feels bad that I can just name these off, like, and you guys will probably know, but do you guys remember the New Zealand shooting that happened in Christ?
Yeah, at the mosque, yeah.
And the guy in the manifesto, he wrote down subscribe to PewDiePie because at that time PewDiePie was doing a whole thing where he was jokingly
paying the people to hold up the sign thing. Was that what it was?
Yeah. Everybody was like putting subscribe to PewDiePie everywhere.
Because at the time he was kind of jokingly doing a thing against a popular Indian YouTube channel called T-Series, which I guess is funded by the government or whatever. I don't know, but that started to rise as like the highest growing channel. So PewDiePie's like, hey, let's make it into a thing. Let's be fun. And then, that thing happens, and it led to the point where PewDiePie decided, I'm going to, please stop saying subscribe to PewDiePie. And the meme stops here. This is where lives are actually getting killed, are being lost because of me, because of my words.
In reality, he there's nothing he could have done to stop that guy. There's nothing he could have changed.
But it's still like it
was not at all his fault.
Like just the fact that he felt like he breeded that hate in some way. Like anybody with a platform has that danger in a sense, but at the same time, it's like in manifestos, people reference their family, they reference people that they know, and it's like it always creates that kind of fear.
It does, and then if like you have that put in there, that's going to put immediate fire on him, and they're going to be like, why was that in there?
Exactly.
Did you tell him to do that? And it's not good.
Yeah.
On a lighter note of all that, just Fisher King, man, even taking away the real world implications that I saw in that, that's a movie that puts me in so many highs and lows, but I just feel so good after watching it. Like, I come away from it loving life, and there's something freaky that I realized while watching it, like thinking of, all right, what can I mention in the video? Have you guys seen The Fisher King?
I saw it for the first time last year.
I have not.
I've heard of it many times, have not seen it.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you guys right now, like, it's so good, right, Michael?
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Okay, so I haven't really seen all of Terry Gilliam's films. There's a few like Brazil that I still have to watch, but
dude.
But of the ones that I've seen, I think Fisher King might be my favorite because of the performance that Robin Williams gives as kind of, I want to say it's kind of like an exaggerated version of himself, but also he's still playing a character.
That's what I get into in my video. It's like how Fisher King is prime. It's the proto Robin Williams role, I think.
But is it the proto Williams? Because before that, he did have Good Morning Vietnam, and before that was Mork and Mindy. Yeah. So it was already kind of fully formed. But I think this is the first. I think this is the first like dramatic film where you really get to see kind of like his full range of what he can do.
Yeah, I was gonna say Dead Poet Society, but I think that was
thank you. That was like 2 years before, I think.
Yeah. But actually, I think I haven't seen Fisher King, but I know where you're getting at. Where it's his more eccentric side of it. Dead Poet Society, he's a little more straight in that one.
Like with Fisher King, I think it's the ultimate Robin Williams performance because it's just, in my opinion, you could show anybody, like if you tell anybody about Robin Williams, you're like, well, what was he like? You could show them the Fisher King, and I think that's probably the best portrait of Robin Williams as a person that you'll get through one of his performances. Just how on the outside, he's this loud, wacky character that says crazy shit, but on the inside, he's actually a reserved, educated man that has tragedy in his life and just has demons inside him. And honestly, watching that movie with the lens of what we know now about him is very haunting, especially when you get to like the very end. And there's a point where Robin Williams talks to Jeff Bridges in that film, and it's like right near the end, and it's one of the most heartbreaking, just bittersweet things listening to it now. And it's just so sincere. Like you feel the person that character was come out for that brief moment, when the whole movie he's this love obsessed knight trying to find the Holy Grail in New York. And in the movie, one thing that I noticed in the movie, which is a very haunting Gilliam touch, in the movie he's chased by this guy called the Red Knight.
Oh my God.
And it's this horrifying beast that he imagines in his head that has flames coming out of his head, like the little night piece and everything. And he collapses on the floor screaming, paralyzed in fear, scared out of his mind. And it's this big red knight, and it's got like all these strands coming out of it, looking like a monster.
Like there's a whole bunch of like craziness all behind him. And when you look at it from like straight on, it looks like blood splatter. And
I realized, because in the film, the person that the caller was talking about was Robin Williams' wife in the, like, that he kills. That's the lady that gets killed in the movie. So later on, the Red Knight chases after, Perry is his name in the movie, chases after him. And then as he's running around New York, screaming his eyes out, just scared out of his mind, it flashes back to that fateful day when his wife gets killed. And in the scene, you see the shotgun go up, and then it cuts to, the impact of the blood. And then it cuts to Robin Williams' face, and he gets the blood full on. And I realized, oh my God, the Red Knight is modeled after the blood spatter from his wife.
So literally that image is forever ingrained in his head and haunts him.
It's powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, Terry Gilliam.
I started getting
It's a Terry
choked
Gilliam
up
movie.
Yeah.
Mention that.
And Kristal, this is the only Terry Gilliam movie I think you've seen aside from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because
I see that this podcast is kind of taking on a theme.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of the point, is that this tackles mental illness. This tackles, not mental illness. It's like, what the anxieties that we've been going through recently. It's just.
Shootings just happen to be one thing.
But at least we have a silver lining in all this. Brock, at least you're doing the best.
I am doing pretty good. I normally have some harsher times, like I said, because I don't like to let myself think positive things, because my mind is like, that's going to go wrong. You should stop trying for that. And then eventually I have to beat that person into a corner and think about it. So this is actually something I was going to ask. Mike will end up knowing the full brunt of all of this, because he is going to be doing a show with me on my YouTube channel. We don't know what it's called yet because we haven't decided on a title. We've been trying for like 3 months. But so we're doing a show about my favorite anime, Gurren Lagann. It's technically Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. But one thing I was going to ask is something that everyone kind of uses to keep themselves going. I need to grab something quick.
I thought it was like the subject of like the name title, because I had an idea.
Right.
But then
I don't know if you're going to be able to see this from there, but
I was wondering if it was like asking about like the title of it, because I remember you and Michael were asking for it a while back, and I immediately thought like, okay, well, my first thought is just taking your guys' letters in your first name and combining them, but BM isn't exactly the best name.
Oh, trust me. Other ones tried, and they're like, I don't think we can do it. But anyway,
I was thinking of that, actually.
The main crux in the anime is there's a lot of stuff that goes on, but there's fighting with mechs in it, obviously. And one thing you come to learn later on in it, that the mech that the main characters Simone and Kamina pilot is literally powered by willpower. The more you believe in yourself and the more your friends and family believe in you, the more this thing has better fighting ability, the higher powered it is, and the more it can withstand.
There's like the lantern ring.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a quote at the end of the show. The best version of it is in English because Yuri Lowenthal is the man, in my opinion.
Of course.
Yeah.
But we evolve beyond the person we are we were a minute before. Little by little, we advance further with each turn. That's how a drill works. The main power, the main weapon that it uses in there is a drill. They use a metaphor through the entire way. I've never thought a drill as a weapon in an anime would use as many force, but it is. It's basically turn by turn, keep going. You're not going to make a ton of progress each day, but eventually you're going to crack through whatever's bothering you. You just have to keep applying pressure and don't stop.
I was going to say that's so philosophical, and then they're like, that's how a drill works. And I'm like, anime.
Exactly. It's the most anime quote thing in the world, and it's like that's why I wanted to go through it. And I'm like, it helps me. Every year I watch through that anime, and anything that's been through with me that year, it's flushed. I started out the brand new year, good to go. I was born January 7th, so it's basically New Year's. I spent that weekend watching all the way through it. It's 27 episodes, so it takes like a day and a half. I am a brand new human after it, and it helps me so much. I can't even speak. I've been watching it every year since came out in 2007, I want to say.
That's kind of like Cowboy Bebop for me, man, because it's like at the end of that, you know, where there's that that final saying during one of the final episodes where he says you're going to carry that weight. That quote always kind of means a lot.
See round space cowboy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Bang.
Bang.
There you go. I met Steve Bloom, by the way. He was awesome. I met him in Hawaii at one of the cons, one of the conventions.
I'm so jealous, man.
Dude, I got to meet him recently too. He's the man. He voices someone in Gurren.
He's so awesome. And he did like a Wolverine pose with me for a picture and stuff. Like he took the selfie and he did like a Wolverine pose, like with his hand up like this. He was like,
he does voice acting lessons online. You can sign up for it.
Guys?
I know, he's great.
You can look it up. He does voice acting lessons on his own out of his house.
I love that. I love when you get the chance to partake in conventions and meet people. Like
last time I at the last Grand Rapids Comic-Con I met Tom Kane.
Oh shit.
Nice.
And me and my sister, we watched Powerpuff Girls all the time when we were younger, and so I had him. Yeah, I had him do for $50. I paid him to record a message for my sister.
Nice,
that's cool.
And he says like, "This is Tom Kane, the voice of Professor Utonium, and also him from the Powerpuff Girls." And he says, "I want to say hi. You know, your brother was nice enough to do this little video message, so thanks for being a fan." And he was awesome. He really was.
Cool.
But also, actually, this is my user profile, but I met Patrick Warburton at the convention.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Patrick Warburton. That's on my user profile. In case you guys haven't seen that, he is just the funniest guy you will ever meet.
He was the Tick, right? In
he was the Tick.
First version of it.
Also, he was the Tick.
He was excellent as the Tick.
The Tick. When we were doing there was a Q&A that he did, and one random commenter, like this guy who had this big backpack on him, he asked him and everyone else in the audience to just shout "spoon."
Spoon.
Yeah, and at the same time, and also
awesome,
the cool.
Man. That's the best.
The funniest thing I mentioned while he was sending me when he was signing something for me, he gave me my signature on like I think it was an animation cell that he gave me. I mentioned hey, you're also good as Lemony Snicket in the new Netflix series. I guess it's because you look like Daniel Handler. And his response was, "I thought I told you never to watch that series. Wouldn't you much rather watch something more pleasant?" And he said, he's
one of the deepest voices on the planet. Just listening to him talk is the best.
I have more self-control than I do, Jacob, because as soon as I hear that, I would go on the offense like, "Hey, you should really watch something pleasant." Be like, "Oh yeah, okay, you're right. I'll tell you about the next time I rewatch Men in Black 2.
Oh, that's just harsh. Owie.
Oh, what, was he in Men in Black too?
Yeah, he was I remember it because he was the guy at the very beginning that Will Smith was partnered up with. and I
Oh, no.
remember it was him.
I didn't even know I didn't know that. I
remember
I just said, oh yeah,
he grabs a worm. He grabs like a flower. He's like, "What the hell are you doing here, worm boy?"
Yeah. I mentioned I actually made him laugh because I mentioned one of my favorite Family Guy bits is when the guys are watching a Queen Latifah movie and you know, guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then Peter says, "Oh no, she didn't," and then Joe says, "Oh yes, she did," and then Peter says, "No, she didn't."
Oh,
yes, she did. No, she did. Yes, she did, Peter. I just saw it. All right, take it easy.
I think my favorite bit with him in Family Guy is when he falls down that hill and he gets his legs back for like 2 seconds, and then his son comes down and clips him, and he becomes.
Oh yeah.
Like, well, I guess this is happening. I can't remember exactly what he says, but I laugh so hard.
One of my favorite bits is in the Apocalypse episode or the Y2K episode, and he's like his chair got melted into like his driveway.
Yeah, I know.
he sees like some monster or something. He's like, "Bring it on!"
There's a giant rat, I think. I asked him during the Q&A what his favorite Family Guy episode was, and he said it was the one where Meg has a crush on Joe because that was when he got to record. That's when he got to record dialogue with Mila Kunis.
Oh my god, I'm looking through his Wikipedia and I completely forgot that he was in Tales from the Borderlands.
Oh yeah,
Hugo Vasquez. I remember that first scene. That was the scene that turned me on to that particular series. Like, okay, I'm gonna love everything about this. This is everything about the games, but so much better. And it's when Troy Baker is called into his office. I think Reese was his name.
Yep.
And he's going in there, and he's just like, "Let me tell you, you're doing shit," or something like that. He's like, "You're gonna need to pick it up, or things will not be so pleasant." And right at that moment, you see a dead body outside in space, and then Reese is like, and then it cuts to Hugo. He's like, "Oh wow, that came in right on time. That really helped make my point."
Another great bit was when he gets the new pair of legs and he's just bossing the other guys around to the point where they start doing and then they start saying good morning, it's great, like they start dancing like and then he starts shouting at Qui-Gon, "So say good morning!" And then Qui-Gon goes, good morning, like good morning, and then Stewie comes like, "Nothing could be better than be Louisiana in the morning. Oh, I thought we were still going.
Nice.
Oh man.
Speaking of Troy Baker, if any of you want a fun time, they sadly aren't as close as what they used to be, but there's a clip. I'm a huge fan of Funhouse from used to be Inside Gaming or versus became Funhouse. There's a bit where they had, when they first started Retro Replay, him and Nolan North were on their Dude Soup podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And they talked about how they had an idea for a TV show where one of them was going to be Jeff Goldblum and the other one was going to be Christopher Walken on $100,000 pyramid, where Nolan North is Christopher Walken and Troy Baker is Jeff Goldblum, and he's just like, and he's like, artichokes, and then just keeps dinging like he has no clue. And then the host is just like, how are you understanding him? What? He's just making noises. What? How? It's the best. I'm like, you needed to make that a skit, and it never happened. Oh, I was so mad.
How did I know the second you mentioned those two celebrities? It's like, okay, yeah, Troy Baker would be Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah,
No
yes. It's the
Totally.
best. And Nolan North also does a spot-on Patrick Warburton impression. If you ever catch him doing it, he's so good at it. Oh, they're great. But yeah. So, yeah, I'm crying. That skit makes me laugh so hard.
All right, guys. So, do we? How do we follow all this up? Honestly, does anybody else have anything?
Idea.
Maybe we can. I have an idea. I got this. Maybe we can talk about how we've been. Keona, have you been talking about how you've been mental, like, are there any emotional things that you're going through?
Well,
Yeah, I don't think you said anything at the beginning.
Yeah.
no, not really.
But let's shine the light on you.
I'm the
gonna
host.
catch
I'm
the
just
guy.
like, I just set the tone for it. Anyway.
Yes,
You're-
and
you're
they're
one
the
of
ones
us,
that yell
so
at you
Keona.
because you don't say enough.
I'm catching the guy, and I'm bringing us back to the prime timeline, Keona.
Okay. Okay, you're catching the die. I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm catching
Um,
the guy.
So, well, there was something that kind of happened with me, which was that, as you guys know, I'm an old fart, and when I was younger, I read a bunch of video game magazines, and one of them was this magazine called GameFan.
Nice.
GameFan was like the anti Next Generation and the anti EGM, if you guys know those. Which is basically that they were more about the personality and less about, less about trying to sound journalistic.
Okay.
You know, like the whole idea with them was that they, I remember there were multiple eras in this video game magazine because they went through different ownerships and different editors in chief and whatnot. And so the first editor in chief, there was a time when, like, that guy, the stories about him are pretty legendary. Like, the fact that before E3 was a thing, video games used to be announced at CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas. And so at one point, some of the I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I will just say that the stories I've read is that there was a case where the people who worked on the magazine GameFan had rented a hotel room, and allegedly the things that went on in that hotel room are pretty scandalous. Like, I mean, we're talking like drugs and strippers and whatnot.
I
Plane
remember
ride from hell type of stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, it's just, it's crazy stuff that happened, right? And like, I mean, it is Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But
I remember you sent me like around that time, like, I know
There
you,
is-
you talk about it, yeah.
dude, like hardcoregaming101.com, they have like this whole thread on the history of GameFan, and it's super long.
It reads like a Martin Scorsese film. It reads like
I was like, Josh, you got to write like a screenplay and do like a film version of this. But anyway,
That could be your
but like
Joker.
I said, I don't want to yeah, yeah, exactly. I don't want to badmouth these guys because I love the magazine and I really enjoyed what they did, because what they used to do is they used to do these big huge spreads of games, like multiple pages, screenshots all over the pages and stuff. Like they were really kind of like that magazine just bled art direction and screenshots and color, and it was very interesting.
The funniest that you told me about was that one guy that wrote, I think, a review or a preview.
He wrote a review while he dropped acid. He dropped acid and wrote a review while on acid.
It was that game.
I was just about to ask, what was the game?
It was
God.
Atari Jaguar.
It was a Jaguar game.
It was that game where you're flying around and then you bump into shit, and then the
It's
headless
legendary.
face comes in.
Where
She's
did
like,
you
where did you
learn
learn
to
to
fly?
fly?
Yes.
He wrote a review about that and how that was gonna change games.
That was going to
forever.
change games
Oh
forever,
my
and it was the best
gosh.
game of all time and everything.
my
Yeah,
God.
like, dude, it's pretty legendary. I mean, like, that
Wow.
magazine, man. But when I came into it, because I started reading it month to month when it was in its later incarnation. So at the time, the editors that had done all that stuff, all the crazy stuff, had kind of left and done their own thing. And so the new generation of guys came up. And this one guy was the editor-in-chief, and what he loved to do was he loved to rant about 2D games. And this was at the time when they went out of business. It was around right about when the Dreamcast launched.
Okay.
So maybe in 2000,
Okay.
up to 2001 maybe. So you had the PlayStation 2, and of course Sony was leading the 3D game revolution at the time, and Sega, they were big Sega supporters and stuff like that. I mean, they were import gamers. They were Saturn, Dreamcast, very Sega focused, and the Xbox was just announced, and it was just we were at the time when things were going to change again in the industry. And so this guy, he wrote a review of a game, and it was just him like ranting about 2D gaming and why aren't you people supporting it, and like
no.
this is like the best friggin' stuff. And I mean, I love that though, because there was passion there, you know.
Oh
I
yeah.
Maybe it
found the
wasn't.
review too.
It was a review too, and it was just like, you know, like some people would say that's unprofessional. I was just like, I love the passion, man.
Huh.
But anyway, so what happened was that years later, somehow in the ICQ days, I had managed to just message with this editor-in-chief guy who wrote that review, and I just told him his name was Eric. ECM was his handle that he went by, and I told him that, you know, that I enjoyed reading his writing because I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was funny, and you know, there was just a lot of passion behind it, so I liked it. And so we had sort of messaged back and forth a little bit, and just talked about like X-Men comics, and this was at the time when Chuck Austin was writing X-Men, and you know, anybody who knows, his run was awful anyway. So we would like badmouth Chuck Austin's run on X-Men. But
Chuck Austin, we'd love to have you on the show, by the way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I don't think he's gonna ever listen to anything on the internet ever again, Chuck Austin. Poor guy. But you know, honestly, you did write all that crap, so but I mean, like, you know, so I had some interactions with this guy, and I you know, there was an affinity there for his writing and stuff like that, and partially like GameFan is sort of what inspired me to make Renegade Pop Culture.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, and that's why we have the nicknames and stuff like that, because it's kind of like a little GameFan homage.
I like that.
So anyway, I read, like, maybe a few weeks ago, I read that this guy, ECM, he had passed on in 2018, in early 2018. And I didn't know this. But I had just thought, like, oh, you know, because we were doing the nicknames kind of stuff. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll go look up, you know, I'll Google this guy and see what's going on. And come to find out that, you know, through Twitter and through, like, I checked multiple sources and stuff, and they all said that he had passed away in 2018. And some of the former editors who are still active on, like, I think it was the Next Level forums. They had a forum thread about GameFan and its history, and they had written that yes, that ECM, they checked with his family, and that yes, he had passed on. And he was like maybe about, I don't know, like in his 40s, like 45 or so, or what have you. And no one knows really what happened. All we know is that he did pass on, and he did have a family. And, you know, I mean, there were times when he would kind of, he was not a guy who was afraid to offend anybody in his writing and stuff like that. Like, he was a very, like, in your face kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I don't know what his politics were. I mean, you can kind of guess, but you know, regardless of any of that stuff, it still was like, it was a major blow for me, because I was just like, I had those interactions with him, and to find out that he was, you know, one of the reasons why was I was hoping to maybe find a way to contact him and maybe say, like, oh, look, we made this website, and you know, it's different from GameFan, but it's inspired by it, and you know, I hope that you would take a look at it. That was something that I was trying to do. But he, you know, not there anymore. I'm friends with a couple of guys on Facebook and everything, like a few people who had worked on GameFan, both in the original and the latter incarnations that came years later. And so I wrote a thing on Facebook about it, and I shared it to the group, and you know, it was just something where it was like, I was up at like 4 a.m. just thinking about it because I was just looking through everything, and I listened to a podcast that his friends had made in his honor, and like it was just something that really hit me in a strange way. And so I tweeted out to some of the guys that worked on the magazine back in the day, and they actually ended up following me back, which is awesome. You know, Nick Roxon and Casey Lowe, and yeah, so
It's very surreal when someone that was a huge inspiration for you and like it kind of slips by in that respect, you know?
yeah. Well, one of the things that I sort of do that is sort of my own kind of homage to him is that, like, in my writing, you know, like the corny humor, like that's a little bit of like ECM, because he used to do that. You know, he would do the whole thing. Like, one of the things I used to love about it was in the intros to like the reviews or the previews or what have you, they would always kind of call each other out. Like, he would call out other editors and stuff, and he'd just be like, you know, yeah, this game is great. It's an import, you know, it's a shoot 'em up. It's 2D vertical scrolling, so that means this guy ain't gonna like it, you know. And they would just do things like that, and it was so funny, and it just kind of added to this whole like idea of like these guys were just sitting in a room together, just playing games all day.
That explains the kid fan call out at the beginning of the Cybermorph review that
Exactly.
I pulled up. Like, yeah.
Cybermorph, that was it. That was
Yeah.
it, man. That's like, oh man.
And in fairness, at least for me, I always love reading the show notes for the podcast, because I can always tell that's your personal flair. And even if it's like at odds with everybody, it's always like, look, I'll tell you guys, I don't care about this thing. It doesn't look like my cup of tea. It looks like craziness. It looks like what would happen if you snorted Skittles. But you know what? Everybody else loved it, so there you go.
I know. Yeah, that's kind of my thing that I do. That's a little nod to that, because, like, you know, I still think my favorite thing was the real pigeons fight crime. That was my favorite line that I've ever written for these show notes, because it's just like, I hope they do so just by pooping on the criminals at inopportune moments. Like, that's
I'll admit I was a little upset, like on some level, like, oh man, why didn't you write anything about animal crackers? Because I could only imagine the comedy gold that you could have come up with.
Oh man,
just by talking about the premise of animal crackers.
We're friendly towards the director, so
yeah. And then I remembered that it's like, okay, yeah. I get it, but man.
And I didn't watch the movie, so I didn't really want to be one of those guys, you know. Like Real Pigeons Fight Crime is another whole thing, because first of all, that title, and secondly, it's not made yet, so nobody's seen it. Maybe it will just be pigeons crapping on people, for all we know. I mean, if it was, I'll watch it.
But by the way,
you have earned a viewer.
If you guys have seen the title for the tuned up that I edited, which I think was Comic-Con Cringe with Kawaii Kyle. I swear to God, I know that is not a final title. I just want to make myself laugh.
I gotta say, I love your working titles for Tuned Up.
Me too.
I always get worried that, like, I might say one thing and might be like, oh crap, they might think like this isn't, like, I'm not taking it seriously. I still think my favorite title that I've done, which to any listeners that are listening in, when Kawaii Kyle helps me out with the editing, I just hand it off to him. And what happens?
It's a man of mystery,
is, like,
that Kawaii Kyle.
You know, I sit with him and I listen, and I just think, all right, how can I distill it down to just like something that can probably make him laugh? And one of the favorite titles that I came up with was I think it was actually it was either the Animal Crackers one or the Hamilton one, which was Animal Crackers in Our Voice.
Yes.
Yep.
And my voice. Yeah.
And Hamilton hitting it with Hayden.
Yes.
We
should have just been like spitting it with Hayden.
Yeah. Oh god damn it. Oh, that would have been perfect.
Oh man. Aiden's like
surreal though.
throwing something at the computer right now.
It's surreal though about the GameFan stuff, because
Yeah.
I can understand that. Like, it's not on the same level, but it reminds me when Roger Ebert died.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
for me, it just I think it's just in my head. It's like, fuck, I'm a filmmaker. I'm never gonna be able to see a Roger Ebert review of my work.
Yeah.
And it sets in, and then sometimes you watch a movie and you just think, man, what would Ebert think of The Tax Collector?
No,
You know what though?
please don't
No,
get into this right now.
seriously. Like, there's some movies, good and bad, that you just think, man, I would love to hear what a man like that would have to say. If he would think Parasite was a masterpiece, like we all did, or if he would think that you know, just Suicide Squad was like a masterpiece. I mean, he liked Home Alone 3. God knows why, but you know,
You didn't like the first two either.
he didn't like the first two, but he liked Home Alone 3. He was like, that's the one that got it right.
I'm more wondering what
creativity.
his opinion on the Velocipaster is. That's just me, but you know,
He liked Roger Ebert. He liked Godfather 3 more than Godfather 2.
he was a different man.
I like
That's
Godfather.
always something I
Sometimes.
respected about him. Like,
Objectivity.
no matter
Yeah.
his opinion, he always stood by it.
Nope.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing, though. That was the reason why I liked GameFan, was because they were not about like, okay, this system is gold, or this AAA title is the best thing ever because it's the most popular or whatever. You know, they were just like, hey, we love what we love.
Can I
Yeah.
read you guys the Cybermorph review?
And
Oh boy.
I sort of learned that from that magazine. So
Yeah.
we're gonna put Dave Halverson on blast. Okay.
Hey, no matter what, it's a huge part of the foundation of renegade
Yeah.
pop culture. And you know what? We gotta. I'm happy we're talking about it. I'm just saying, Keona, do I have permission to read the Cybermorph review real quick? This is if memory serves, this is the acid dropping one, I think. Are you guys cool with that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay. So,
Uh-oh.
here we go. After braving the stormy skies of New York City, KidFan emerged with the first Atari Jaguar awarded to a game publication. After ripping open the FedEx box, we all gathered around the first 64-bit game system and plunked in Cybermorph. I got to play. 24 hours later, long after everyone else except for my trusty Quadra operator had left, I emerged, totally fulfilled, with the strange feeling that after playing video games for 9 years, I had just played the first real one. No longer am I tied down from going from point A to point B. I could go anywhere, anytime, and interact with crafts and characters all over each of 50 planets for as long as I wanted. After rescuing my allotment of pods, I can survey the world, taking out remaining enemies, playing with different viewpoints, and examining structures. Each level is a different type of rescue mission, requiring a completely new strategy than the last. Some moons are totally hostile, while others require intense exploration and passive gameplay. I played for 3 hours to complete the first 8 moons, then surprisingly met a boss on the 9th. At that point, I'm used to 16-bit games. I figured it was over, but I was wrong. 8 more appeared that required massive study to conquer. Then, after another 12 hours of engulfing gameplay, I reached the end once again, fought 2 huge gunships, and figured for sure that was it. Again, I was wrong. 8 more planets appeared that I am still, 2 days later, studying. I'm going to assume after the review was posted, he beat it. It turns out that there are 50 planets, making this game one that doesn't even nick the hardware, the longest I ever played, all 3D, all rendering on the fly, filled with vivid, brilliant colors and detailed polygon enemies that seem aware of my presence. I am thrilled with this game. So now, for
Aren't
me,
all
the
enemies
face of
in games aware of your presence?
So now, for me, the face of gaming has totally changed. Now, I must imagine that games like this that make use of the Jag's full potential, texture-mapped rendering, on-the-fly RPGs are now possible. Games that with huge worlds to explore are on the horizon. Shooting, action, role-playing, adventure. The Jag will have it all. No putt-putts, no bird's life, just solid, inventive 64-bit games from programmers with imagination. This game was made by ATD. Who's ATD? Whoever they are, they sure know how to make games. They got inside my head, and that's what it's all about. Will everyone who plays Cybermore feel as I do? Probably not. There are some who will turn it on, fly into a planet, think they're just playing another shooter, die for sure, and exclaim, "This is 64-bit?" To those boneheads, I must say, you have to look deeper than that. This is the first game. It was probably started before the 64-bit processor housed inside was even invented. Look at the creativity, the sound, the intelligence. Cybermorph has great music in the intro, but the game itself whispers only the surreal sounds of each planet. The sounds of the approaching missiles, the rumbling of approaching transport vehicles, the hum of your thrusters. That's all you hear, and rightfully so. I just realized there's like a lot of like grammar mistakes too. Like
So
here
much.
is spelled HERE.
Yeah.
And rumbling is spelled RUMBLIGN.
For the record, this is the guy who was editor-in-chief before the other guy that I was talking about, the one that I had messaged with and all that.
Yeah.
So this was the other guy.
And like I said, this is the one that was written while dropping acid, right?
Yes, this is
For what it is, it's very surprisingly coherent, and then it goes off the rails.
It was the full story is that there was a guy, one of the young guys who had worked there, dropped a thing of acid in the coffee pot, and everybody that partook of that coffee then had some and had a little extra.
So I'm looking this
Little
game
Irish
up
coffee
right
there.
now. I'm looking this game
Dude.
up right now because I have never seen this before.
Cybermorph.
ATD, the company is called Attention to Detail.
Mm-hmm.
And two of the first options that come up are its official wiki, and then the second one is called Cybermorph Crappy Games Wiki Uncensored.
In closing,
Oh my gosh. Woo, boy.
Oh yeah.
in closing, I
Legendary.
can only say that with the Jaguar, Atari has won our support. The new machine is made here, is the highest quality
Made here.
I have seen so far, and looks fantastic.
Mhm.
Support, they will have it because we
Yes.
will all own this system. At least most of
Yeah.
our readers will. And you
Yeah,
guys
Because
alone,
that happened.
That happened.
and you guys alone can spell success for a new system. Atari is back. Come pet
Pet the cat.
the cat.
Come pet the cat.
Wow.
That is officially how I'm going to end the show notes for this. I'm going to say Atari is back. Come pet the cat.
Need an
But
escape?
speaking of Atari being
So do
back,
we.
are any of you going to buy that console that supposedly is still attempting to come out?
No.
Is it still getting made?
They're still trying.
They're making another
That's the one that's like a nightmare, right? That's
Yeah.
the one that like people tried to fund or kickstart or whatever, and there's still nothing to show
And
for
there's
it.
still nothing to show for it. They want it to be like a current gen console to where like you could play stuff on it. I'm like,
Oh.
why would we need a third option or a fourth one actually? Like make an Atari thing that is basically just an upscaler machine.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
could fit every Atari game ever made on a 2 gig thumb drive. Just give me that.
Make a Jaguar classic
Exactly.
collection. There you go. With Cybermorph, and Dave Halverson will be a very happy man.
Hey, you know
I
what?
mean, dude.
At least I know that's going to be better than the Ouya.
Oh,
Vaporware.
Man, you guys remember the Ouya? I completely
yeah,
forgot.
mobile game, the console. Yeah, I remember that.
That was the best. I remember.
No,
it
what was
hyped
best
up.
was what was the system that Soldier Boy tried making?
Oh,
oh, God.
God. Oh,
I don't
I
remember
can't
what it's called,
remember.
but I remember like all the stories about it.
It was another system that he just made a Soldier Boy version of, and then like attempted to get sued out of his shorts because it's just another system that you're calling the Soldier Station or whatever the hell he tried calling it.
I remember seeing
Hold on,
it.
I gotta look this up. What the hell was that?
I wanted to actually look up gameplay, and I think Soldier Boy ended up what's it called suing anybody who shows gameplay footage off of his consoles, even though his consoles are stolen from other companies.
The console is basically an Xbox One X. That's exactly what I'm looking at. And the controller looks like a mix between a Nintendo DS and a Wii U. This thing is a pile. What is this?
Guys, can we review it for the Renegade Arcade?
Yeah,
Keona, is that
somebody
in the
can
company
grab
budget?
one. I don't know, man.
Hold on. I'm going to Amazon.com. Hold on.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Amazon.com. I tell you, if it's not unbelievably unreasonable,
It's gonna be unbelievably unreasonable.
Dude, I gotta tell you guys
is it?
this too, which is that like if you guys if you ever want to go back and read like old issues of GameFan, I think like the Internet Archive has them. So like you can go look at like PDFs and stuff of them. But like I said, it was the later years were my favorite. So
I didn't find Soldier Boys, but boy, did I find a bunch of knockoff shit on Amazon. Holy. Have you guys heard of the Canoodle?
It sounds familiar, actually.
that is
It's got 36,000 games in it.
Want a game? Come canoodle with us.
Oh God.
Josh, I gotta say, I love how you always lean on Kristal when we're recording.
What is this garbage?
I think you're drunk.
the Canoodle.
Oh my God.
This is canoodling, Kristal.
This is canoodling. This is... Man, I'm just going down a rabbit hole of knockoff systems that claim to have... Oh, speaking of that, now that I remember it, I had to bring this up because I almost forgot. We were at a mini mall in Gurnee, Illinois, the Gurnee Mills Mall. A guy sold us a system that supposedly had 6,000 games on it. And I'm just like, okay, no, it doesn't. The guy was trying to convince me so hard it had 6,000 games for $50. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Oh, God,
And
no.
we got the thing home, and we started playing it, and it had 6,000 games, but they were all just repeats with different names on them. Like Tekken 3 was a random game that just wasn't Tekken 3. But it had the weirdest warning I'd ever seen in my life. It said, do not leave plugged into the wall when turned off.
What?
Oh my God.
I don't know.
That reminds me.
Was there like a strange glow emanating from the console?
That reminds me of Christmas. I remember one year, I think it was like one of the first years that we were together, Kristal. Your grandma on your dad's side, she got me and her siblings and I think her dad or your dad. Yeah. She said they were Nintendo Classic Editions or something like that. Those mini NES. And I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And then I take it and then I plug it in at my house. And I think in my head, okay, something's off. Because I'm looking at the NES controller, and the thing that isn't setting me off is the fact that it's got another set of 2 buttons. So it's got the A and B and an A and B also. So that's not setting me off that it's got 4 buttons, even though it's supposed to have 2. But what's setting off red flags is I realize, oh crap, this doesn't have the Nintendo logo on its controller.
Oh no.
It's a bootleg.
So I boot it up, and yeah, it has 6,000 games. Like something like that. I'm like, okay, well,
it's the Sopra Nintendo.
and the thing that gets to me, most of the games are virtually unplayable.
Oh, no.
But of all things, the one game that works like a dream, and I hate that it works like a dream, and that I know it works like a dream, is Ghostbusters on the NES.
What?
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Congratulations.
It could have been Dick Tracy
Yes.
on the NES.
Congratulations.
I have a soft
You have
spot for
completed-
Dick Tracy.
You have completed a great game and proved the justice of our culture. So go on and rest our heroes.
That's right. That was in Ghostbusters. I know that quote. I forgot what it was in.
The AVGN, when he did that,
Lord.
he suggested a substitute end title card and said, "Congratulations, you had the courage to sit through this awful game. You proved your nerdiness. Now go fuck yourself."
Go fuck yourself. I'll always remember that and the
Preferable.
end title that he came up with for the Friday the 13th game, because
Oh,
at the
yeah,
very
yeah.
end of that game, it just says you and your friends are dead.
They're
Game
dead.
over. And he just
And-
went off on it. And
It went like this. I remember this. It said, "You're dead.
Dead.
Your friends are dead. Your family's dead.
dead.
Your fucking pets are being skinned alive.
Your mom's
Your
fucking
mom's a
whore.
fucking whore. You
You
suck
suck
at
at
life.
life.
The
The whole,
The whole
hates
world
you.
hates you. You're going to
Go
hell.
to hell.
Live with it.
Live with it. Game over.
Over.
Nice. I would love it if a game did that to me. I would just be like, that is so worth it.
Yeah.
It may not be the actual game over screen on it, but I imagine that's probably what the game over screen is for Battle Kid on the NES. Anybody who's played the game, who's watched the Game Grumps play that, they know
Oh
what
my
I'm
God.
talking about.
Good God. Oh.
Like my goddamn dad's child, you piece of garbage.
Guys, are we sure that we're doing a mental health one? We're not just doing another free for all.
I mean, it kind of is a free for all, but to be
You
honest,
know,
I mean,
we-
we've covered a
always
couple
go
of
off.
heavy topics here.
Oh yeah, we did.
It's like, to be honest, if you want to do mental health, what are the things that help us through mental health? Do we
Exactly.
yeah.
We
make
tie
each
it
other-
back.
Blowing
Yeah,
off
that's-
steam. That's
exactly?
it's
Yeah.
kind, it's kind of how we ended the last one too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was
How
gonna.
did we end the last one? We like started going off about something, right?
I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember it started heavy and then ended completely off the rails.
Yeah. Because I mean, that's pretty much what we are. If you
At least
if you
it's
get in
not
touch with
Josh.
us, you'll know.
Losing his
I mean, the
mind
free
up
for all
and
one.
down.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
like the free for all one where we started talking about George Floyd, and then we started.
Yeah, that was the unplugged episode.
Bring out the squeaky boobs one.
Oh my god.
We need to do another unhinged, another unplugged episode when Ready Player 2 comes out.
Yes.
Yes, totally.
Michael, how have you ever talked about what you've been going through, like how your experiences have been lately?
I think I dove a little bit into it the last time. Only real story that I have this week is just the general anxiety of. Okay, so you know those stories of like the old Samsung phones that like exploded.
Yeah.
Well, I have an iPhone 7, and I just realized over the weekend that the battery was starting to swell up.
Oh.
So, like immediately Saturday night, I contacted Apple to tell them like, hey, I need to get this replaced like as soon as possible because I have apps on there that I need for work, and they're like, okay, well, we'll send you the package, or we'll send you like the return
Box.
yeah, the return instructions in like 2 business days. And that just kind of that like set off my anxiety to like I was before that I was like at a 5, 6, my kind of normal level. That took me up to like 11 because I was afraid that like if I did anything, like if I left it in the charger for too long, or
You taxed it in any way.
yeah. I was afraid to do anything, and even when the instructions came in, I was afraid to do anything until I contacted FedEx to pick up the package, because I didn't want to drop it off at the drop off box, because I didn't want the heat in my car, because I leave my car outside.
Okay.
I didn't want the heat to I didn't want the phone to overheat in the car, and I was just afraid to do anything. So that kind of made my week a little bit stressful.
You can imagine just feeling like you have a bomb in your pocket.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Bomb. Go off in any
Dang,
second.
dude.
jeez.
I can't. Oh, that. And it was like that, and then I had someone who I knew had the story about when those hoverboards first came out, and they started going up at people's houses.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, whoo! No, thank you. No. Yikes.
I'm afraid of modern technology. Like, it took me years until I finally got like a regular touch phone.
Yep.
And all that time, I was always worried that something like that was going to happen. And I'm like, no, I'm going to stay stuck in the year 2006.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And the thing is, when that Samsung story went out a couple years ago, it was it was something I was actively laughing at.
Yeah.
Because I was one of those Apple kind of snobs who were I was one of those guys who were making fun of Samsung at that time, but I didn't realize that that it's something really common when it with those lithium batteries, that's a real possibility. And I had no idea until, again, literally last weekend that would even happen.
Nothing lasts that long anymore, and it's by design that it does not last long anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of the worst things about technology.
I think back to those photos of people who had their phones blow up while they were on the phone.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
It's horrifying. Freaking horrifying.
But yeah, I'm glad that we did another volume of the mental health check, because after the week that I've had, I really needed this.
Good.
Same.
I think we all did. This was it always, I feel like I'm preaching to the choir, but it always feels so good just to come on and just vent.
Yeah.
Just purge. It is just it's a vibe check.
It's like emptying the recycling bin. It's just it's gone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But by the way, I do want to mention talking about things that have helped me sort of get through the week, because it's been a rough week. It's been a rough couple of weeks, man. I just have had no motivation whatsoever. But a couple of things that have helped me is one is the show Lucifer.
Nice.
I freaking love that show. I've really gotten into that show.
Nice.
Which is, people might not know this, but it is a comic book adaptation. It's a Neil Gaiman, it's from the Sandman, basically.
Lucifer Morningstar.
Yeah, Lucifer Morningstar. Yeah. So it's even though it sounds sacrilegious and whatnot, but it's really just it's a character-based drama. It's got humor to it. It's not bad. It is what it is. I liked it. I'm glad it's on Netflix because they can do their thing. So that's a good show. And also, there's I was watching some of the Comic-Con sort of panels and stuff like that, like the virtual panels that they had, and watched a couple of the Smallville ones, and I watched the one that it wasn't a Comic-Con panel, but it was the podcast hosted by Ken Jeong and Josh.
The
Josh,
Darkest
who's the
Timeline.
dude? Yeah, who's the dude in Community? Why am I blanking on his name
Joel
right now?
McHale.
Joel McHale. Thank you. Yeah, they had Allison Brie on their show,
Oh, nice.
and
hell
that was a
yeah.
fun episode. So that kind of got me through things. But then watching the Smallville ones, it was interesting because like Michael Rosenbaum has his own show. He has a podcast called Inside of You, which is a great name for a podcast because every time somebody comes on there, he'll have like Brandon Routh on and he'll be like, Brandon Routh, thanks for letting me be inside of you.
Rosenbaum is a perfect person to host something like that.
Exactly. And Brandon Routh is like, well, you asked permission. So it's great. It's a great podcast. He does it for a good reason though. He does it for to for anxiety and that sort of thing. So it's kind of like similar to what we're doing right now. But it's one-on-one kind of interviews and stuff like that. So, which is, by the way, a format that I am kind of interested in doing. Like one day, I think it would be cool if like maybe each of us could do like one-on-one sort of interviews with each other and just kind of talk about stuff. And this would be an offshoot of like the mental health podcast.
That would be fun.
Absolutely.
Cool.
You mean one of us would interview another person?
Yeah, or like just we can interview each other.
Okay.
Right,
absolutely.
Who wants to be the Nixon to my Frost?
I think it should be me. Come on, man. We've known each other for years.
Yeah.
Me and Mike can interview each other then.
Exactly.
Oh, we could go for hours.
Oh yeah, you and me got a lot of stuff talked over years of doing stuff on YouTube together.
Brock, you can interview me.
Okay. I'd be up for doing either.
This is literally the first time you and I have ever talked to each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
What better way to get to know each other than now, basically.
I'd be good with something like that. We just figure out a format. I have no life, so I'm open for doing stuff whenever.
I'll be honest, I would love to interview Hayden. That sounds
cool.
like it would be a blast.
No, man, it's whoever wants to interview each other, you guys can do it, and it'll be like a window into our souls, sort of.
Yeah,
Speaking of windows into souls, just a small, just tiny thing I wanted to bring up. Did you guys see the video that Hayden shared where he superimposed his face into footage from Cats?
Oh
yeah.
Oh, he will not shut up about cats.
I wanted to ask him, was that on the butthole cut or the pre-butthole cut? I need to know this, otherwise I can't appreciate it.
I needed to talk about that. God damn. I really thought that was just a part of the film too. So it took me a solid fourth loop watching it like, oh, that's Hayden's face. Okay.
Yeah.
I still can't believe that's a thing.
Oh, man, that is one of the best things I've ever seen.
Oh boy.
Cats.
Can I say? Can we? I'll just say what's been helping us get through this.
Sure.
I just want to say what's getting me through this is my chats with Kim, my girlfriend.
Nice.
I was gonna ask, how are you two doing?
We're doing good. I sent her recently. She really wanted a T-shirt that I wouldn't miss, so I sent it in the mail. Because she sent me one, right after she was wearing perfume, so like her smell is on it.
Aww.
That's cool.
Yeah, there are times that this virus thing kind of makes me scared. I guess we really want her to come over here to America, and sometimes I do try to hold on to hope that we will see each other in person. And it's still great. We're still watching Lazy Town every Sunday, or at least she's watching me watch Lazy Town. She's watching me watch Lazy Town, and just bombards me with Lazy Town lore, basically.
Lazy Town lore might be the best thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's
awesome. That is amazing.
And she and her sister are obsessed with the new Animal Crossing game. She sends me these animations.
A lot of people are.
She showed me this one animation on YouTube where it's Animal Crossing characters reenacting the talk show scene in Joker.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Where it's like a ram and a cow and a clown face, a ram and clown face, and there's like that little rat creature, whatever, like a squirrel, whatever, is the Robert De Niro host.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not funny, Arthur.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh my
It's
god.
been a rough week. Ever since I taxed that bridge.
Yeah.
God.
I now I want to hear a KK Slider cover of "That's Life" by Frank Sinatra.
I would pay for the recording myself. I would pay for the studio time.
Good lord.
Oh my god.
And the part where he kills Murray, he just makes the squirrel character disappear in a puff of smoke. And everyone the crowd still screaming.
There's a great edit of that on Facebook. I don't know how I'd be able to find it, where he does that. They get what they fucking deserve. He shoots him, and then nothing happens, and Robert De Niro just stares at him, and he just looks back, and then it just cuts to commercial break.
The funniest I've seen an edit of that is they put all of Arthur, like that whole scene, intercut in the Eric Andre show.
Oh.
So, he's just like, it's been a rough week since I killed those Wall Street guys. And it cuts to Eric. How can you say something so controversial and yet so brave? And he's just like, what do you get when you cross a mentally ill loner with a society? And it cuts to Eric like, I don't know what's going on right now. And he's crying. And then he does, you get what you fucking deserve. And he points the gun. And right before it fires, it does the whole dur, 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 dur. We'll be right back.
Oh my god.
Oh, hey, Josh. I wanted to ask you. Did you see the State of Play video from PlayStation?
I only saw one video from there, and it's the video that matters to me.
Bug Snacks.
Is that?
Bug Snacks. Okay, I saw two videos. Bug Snacks, but Crash Bandicoot 4, baby.
Oh, I'm excited for hoods.
Did you see Bug Snacks? Did you honestly see Bug Snacks?
I did see a little bit of Bug Snacks, but then I saw Crash 4, and I was like, I'm sorry, Bug Snacks, but I'm going to have to chow down on you.
You've been knocked out of position.
When does Crash come out?
Crash comes out in October.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Brock, what are your thoughts on Bug Snacks? I'm just curious. Are you on board as much as we are?
I don't.
Because let me tell you something. Bug Snacks is the game of the year as far as I'm concerned.
The funniest thing, I wanted to be known. I started the fucking joke about Bug Snacks being game of the year.
Yep.
Like, that's my most hyped game. I started that joke, and then I see Video Game Donkey do a video about quote-unquote E3 2020, and he talks about Bug Snacks, and he's already started making the joke, this will be the Knack 2 of PlayStation 5.
Oh my god.
And the funniest thing is he started making fun of a game that was on the PlayStation 5 showcase. It was that one that Bethesda was doing, where it's like you shoot, and then if you don't do things right, you kind of go back in time.
Oh, Deathloop? No, not Deathloop.
Yeah, Deathloop.
Is it Deathloop? Okay.
Yeah, and he's I always find it funny that there's a video game at E3 that's always like, and he plays the clips of the thing. He's like, all my life I've lived on the edge, but now I'm not. Who am I? I'm Bug Snacks. And then the funniest was he was showing footage from Halo Infinite. He's like, Halo Infinite is the most powerful game on the Xbox. Look at the graphics on the monkey. This is clearly footage from Halo 3. So then it actually is showing footage from Halo 3. He's like, okay, here we are. It's the proper footage, and it's footage from Halo Infinite. He's like, Halo Infinite is the most powerful game on the Xbox One. Look at the graphics on the monkey.
Dude, can we talk about Halo Infinite? Because I never got to rant about this, okay?
I'm getting something to drink. You go right ahead.
Guys, you guys are in for a Keona rant.
So, okay, Halo Infinite. Let's talk about this. Okay, so like, I was waiting for this Xbox press conference. I tweeted to Phil Spencer. He never saw it. He doesn't care who we are. He doesn't know who I am. Anyway, Phil Spencer. I'm a fan. I've been an Xbox guy since the original Xbox way back in 2000 whatever. And like, okay, you know, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for Halo. Let's get it on. This is let's go. This is our time. And then the Halo Infinite thing happens, and it's like the music's a throwback, the armor's a throwback, the graphics are a throwback, everything's a throwback. And I'm just like, you know what is even happening with this game? Because like, okay, so Halo 5 sucked balls, okay? Like Halo 5 was the equivalent of like me burning my Halo membership card, okay? Like that's I have no Halo card. I'm not a fan anymore. Your game sucked. Dude. So like Halo Infinite happens and I'm just like, okay, let's see what they do here, because you know, obviously they have a lot to sort of atone for. That sounds douchey, but you know, I mean, they have a lot to like to course correct. And I'm curious to see how they're going to do it, because now Cortana's evil. The galaxy is like, there's an AI uprising, you know, spoilers, I guess, for Halo 5. But,
no, God forbid.
God forbid, you know. The crappy story, who cares? You know, and then there's like a whole nother Spartan team, and Nathan Fillion's on it, which is the one saving grace. And like,
he makes everything better.
Exactly. So now we have Halo Infinite. What are we going to do here? What we do is we have the Chief stranded in space, and he's rescued by some whiny dude in a Pelican. Now, said whiny dude is apparently going to be Chief's companion through this entire adventure, which is, I won't get into the technical side of it yet. So now, okay, he's going to be Chief's companion, right? So every time between missions, you're going to have to talk to this whiny guy who's going to complain about like, I thought you said that we're going to go back and find civilization and go back home and I can go with my family and da-da-da. And Chief is going to be like, I spot a crew of grunts. I'm going to go kill them or something, you know, whatever. So he goes and he kills all the grunts and he kills all the dudes. And then like, and oh yeah, it's anti-aircraft batteries. Okay, so he's going to go and kill the anti-aircraft batteries, as we all know. So this is just Chief doing his Chief thing. The brutes are falling out of the sky. They look terrible. They look like Play-Doh, plastic, whatever.
Are you making fun of Craig the Brute or whatever his name was?
Craig the Brute. Yeah, Craig the Brute. Look, we all love Craig the Brute, okay? Craig the Brute gets a pass, but everybody else sucks. Anyway, and then they do this whole thing where he goes, okay, like, you know, apart from the structure itself, which looks like it could have been at home in Halo 4 or 5 or what have you, when he gets to the control room, where I guess it's to shut off the anti-air batteries or something, he gets to the control room, and then all of a sudden you're treated to this vision / holographic image of like the brute chieftain, who is your main enemy in this game. And all it is for the last like minute or two of this demo that they showed is just the brute chieftain, basically like Matt McMuscle says, he was just cutting a promo at Master Chief.
Dude, oh, you listen to Matt McMuscles. We're getting closer every day. Go ahead.
Well, Josh introduced me, actually.
Yeah, I introduced him because I knew him through two best friends.
And the first video that I watched was his Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite video with Maximilian Dude. But anyway, so Matt McMuscles then, you know, he says basically the brute guy cut a promo at Master Chief, right? Which is so hilarious. Anyway, if I have to hear the stupid brute chieftain say, set a fire in your heart, demon, you know, and he's like, bare your fangs. If I have to hear him say bare your fangs like that one more time, I'm going to shoot a grunt in Halo 5. In the head, so that there's a grunt birthday party skull goes off. Okay, but I mean, seriously though, this is like what were they even thinking with this video? Okay, never mind the direction that they're going with Infinite, which is apparently a games as service model.
What?
Yeah.
Apparently they're gonna just do like there's this one game and they're just gonna keep on doing like DLC for it for the rest of its life or something. Like they're Destiny 2ing it.
Because it's infinite. Get
Because
it?
it's infinite.
Ah!
Wow. 343, you guys are great.
Yeah,
The pun masters at 343. Anyway,
they are.
so like I don't know. I am not on board with this. I don't like the visual style. I don't like the music. I don't like this whole game is not made for me because they say they're gonna tie it into Halo 5 and everything that happened in Halo 5 still happened and it matters and everything like that. It's gonna be a lore entry in the freaking game that you get when you go and hijack or like hack into one of the computer stations. Okay, maybe a good sliver of Cortana will come back, but that's about it. And
So
now
what
we're
you're
facing this
saying-
brute chieftain guy that they've never introduced until now, maybe at the end of Halo Wars 2. But like, what is the point of this? And then you're fighting Covenant again? You're gonna fight the Flood again? What?
So what you're saying, Keona, is that this game isn't going to be better than Bugsnax?
At this point, I'm willing to bet Bugsnax is going to be a far more interesting and entertaining experience than Halo Infinite. That's how down I am on this game. I am sorry, okay? Like, seriously, this game... 343, bite my ass, okay?
It's funny you mentioned the villains because I'm going to say this. I don't have a attachment to Halo as much as everyone else, but I saw a video by Brian David Gilbert of Polygon who went through every single
Lord.
Halo book, and
Yeah.
I swear, like, apparently the villains of this game, like you said, the guy at the very end that kind of talks to the camera, apparently, like, his people were mentioned briefly in one of the books, like in the very beginning, and that was it. Like, that was all their impression was in the whole series, even through the game. So it was like,
I am shocked that he read like the Forerunner trilogy, because that to me was just gibberish.
Well, it gets to the point of where now that I know you guys have two best friends knowledge, I could bring up Castle Super Beast. So Pat and Wooly talked about it. Halo's basically a biblical translation. It's kind of scary
More
when
or
you
less.
sit down and talk about it.
Yeah.
Literally the flood, the ark, the whole...
The flood, the ark, yeah.
It's everything. The Forerunners, it's weird. I never
Covenant.
realized until they brought it up. It's really spot on. And you can only do that so many times when you're like trying to use that analogy before it just goes...
But here's the thing, though. If you set up all these things in Halo 5, I mean, why not pay them off? You know, where is Locke? Where is Fire Team Osiris? Where's Blue Team? Where is Cortana? She's
I
not even
honestly think
around
they're
now?
trying to avoid that because of how pissed people got with how
I know.
horrible those trailers were.
I mean, I
They were
understand
lies.
that, but the thing is that, like, yeah, the Hunt the Truth thing was a complete fabrication made by the marketing department. And it was better than the game itself. But anyway,
Yes.
I mean, like, why not own that, and why not try to make something interesting out of it? Because you could, but these people just don't want to do it now, and it's just like, okay, we're just back to fighting the Covenant again. We're gonna fight the Banished. I mean, that's fine. I'm sure it'll be fun gameplay for what it is, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't even like. I was ready to be like, okay, Xbox, show me something, make me want to buy the Series X, and now I'm just like, well, PlayStation 5 it is, you know. And I mean, we'll always have Bugsnax. At least we'll have Bugsnax. That's it.
remember, it'll be the Knack 2 of PlayStation 5.
Dude, and Xbox could be doing so much with, like, Microsoft could be doing a lot with their old franchises too. Am I the only person that remembers Brute Force?
No, you're not. No, you are not.
Am I the only person that wants to see that game modernized?
Am I the only person that wants them to realize that Phil Spencer was a crackhead when he said that a game about music, dragons, and Nero from Devil May Cry and Scalebound was not going to be a game people would like when it's being made by Platinum?
And he's usually not wrong about these kinds of things, generally. I mean, I don't know, maybe he is. But Phil Spencer seems to me like he's the thoughtful guy. You know, like you would think he wouldn't do something like that and make that kind of a mistake.
Think that was the first time where I was like, Phil, we need to have a chat. We need to have a chat right now.
Other than him doing this all the time. Hello, guys. Hello, audience. I'm going to feed it to you. I'm feeding you the information.
I've got a recommendation for people. Like, you know, I think, oh my God, you went off a lot lighter than I expected you to, Keona.
Well, I'm just tired.
We have been going for a little bit here.
I remember when all that came out, you were like, man, fuck this, fuck that. You were just going full on. You were like Howard Beale in
I can't really swear in my house right now, so that's why.
You were mad as hell and you could not take it anymore. And
yeah. But anyway, Halo Infinite. I don't know, man. I don't think I'll be getting a Series X. I'll probably just pick it up on Xbox One and just like play it off the Game Pass, and that'll be it for me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably do what I always do with Halo and play it from a friend of a friend, except for Reach, because that one's the best.
Reach was
for
awesome.
Me.
Yeah.
I got a recommendation for people that want to see two extremes of just people losing their minds, and at the same time people that just are clearly enjoying something for the fun of it. If you guys are gamers, if you want to see a group descend into madness, I mentioned Two Best Friends Play.
Yep.
And it could be argued it's part of why they broke up. But if you want to watch something just to have on the background, because it's 3 hours long, they played David Cage's very first game that he did, Omicron, the Nomad Soul. And it is the most maddening game I've ever seen. I'd argue it's probably the worst game I've ever seen.
Are you talking about the door puzzle part?
Yes, but watching Matt McMuscles, Wooly, and Pat play through the game is the best thing ever, especially when they start getting disgusted at the writing of the game. And if you want a flip side of that, I'm also gonna try to get a capture card so that way I can start recording gameplay with Kristal, because right now Wooly on his channel, Wooly Versus, is playing my favorite game of all time, Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door. Nice. And it is the best thing to see him start to fall in love with the game. They got past the race war in the tree, and they just finished the tournament arc, and now they're singing sea shanties in Keel Hall Key in chapter 5 of that game, and he's having a blast with it, even though you can tell he's like, okay, I see why Nintendo won't do this. But just to see that radiation of fun and happiness, it's so wholesome.
And another sidebar, you want to see Wooly at his most wholesome, enjoying his life. When he and Pat went through Devil May Cry 5, I've never seen Wooly be more happy in his entire life. I was just like, this is like listening to a child get a toy on Christmas for 50 episodes.
Like, that's the stuff that's been helping me and getting me through. And also on a movie side, I will never not recommend Jojo Rabbit. I've been on a kick lately. I've been on a kick lately watching stuff that I need to just give myself some positivity. And Jojo Rabbit's like, it's a movie that just makes my soul sing. I think about that ending where Jojo and Elsa dance to the tune of Helden by David Bowie, and I get so sentimental thinking about it.
It's a great ending to a very positive satire.
It's a movie that really hits a fine line. I think it hits a sweet spot that not many Holocaust films can do.
Oh, that's Taika.
Yeah. Yep.
If we're gonna go back on the what's getting us through stuff,
that's my recommendations. That's what's setting to me. That's what's getting me through.
Yeah. Been streaming a lot more lately. Finally getting back into that. That's helped quite a bit. Getting to just talk and play games a lot more because it gives me an excuse to go back through backlogs and honestly doing more stuff like this.
How is that anyway, doing it through Twitch and stuff? How does that?
It works really well. I had a buddy educate me on how to do Streamlabs and how to go through the inner workings and how to make it do what you want.
Mhm.
And I've gotten pretty decent at it. I've gotten to the point of where I've been able to kind of like do my own little checks on stuff where I don't need to keep calling him. And as much as he's been very helpful, my buddy Danny, he's been very, very nice with me about it. It helps a lot. I've gotten up to streaming about 4 times a week now. So on days where I'm not doing anything, it helps. I've gotten a little bit of something, so I have people to continuously talk with. That helps quite a bit. Yes. And I also, if I ever do have a kid, I have what I call the 90s kid survival guide that I've been building over my life. I have a couple of cabinets in my basement where I have all of the cartoons that I watched as a child on whatever format I can find them on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Like
awesome.
Zoids, Beast Wars, Ronin Warriors, all this stuff that I watched when I was a kid, and I'm just pick one and then just every night watch a few episodes. And it's just,
all the Toonami shows.
Oh yes, I love it. It's nostalgia and it just keeps me going. It's good, it's real good. That's me anyway.
Anybody else got any recommendations or things that have helped them get through the?
I watched
days?
Won't You Be My Neighbor, that Mr. Rogers documentary.
I love that documentary.
It's so good.
For the first time since I watched it back in 2018, and that movie damn near had me in tears. You know, it was a very positive, sweet movie, which, you know, that's the ultimate pickup movie for me, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I recommend that.
Go ahead.
So I went down a Disney / Howard Ashman rabbit hole because the documentary Howard was released this weekend. So I watched that, followed by Little Shop of Horrors, and then I went back to Waking Sleeping Beauty, which is one of my favorite documentaries of all time, because, you know, it's about the Disney Renaissance, which is kind of where my everything began. My love for music, animation, film, all of that. So watching that documentary again really took me back to my childhood.
Nice.
That's nice. For me, like, since I've started my first job ever, it's been like I've been on autopilot for a while. I haven't had it, I haven't been thinking. So it's just been really relaxing just to watch Josh play Ghost of Tsushima. So that way I don't have to put in the brain power to pay attention to it, but I just enjoy watching in the background. And now after watching him play so much, I really, really want to get into watching Kurosawa films. Like, I need to watch them now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
We do.
We saw him video. I saw a video by my buddy Matt Draper. He did a video on Yojimbo and A Fistful of Dollars and how they were both the same and all that. And I had never really seen any footage of Yojimbo except for just the bits with Toshiro Minafune just doing stuff like that, his physical tics for his character.
Yeah.
And getting to see his performance in that film, at least in those clips, just his face, just how he just leans in like that, just with a shitty grin on his face.
You forget nobody can see you.
I know that, but they can't. But just seeing his performance, it reminded me a lot of Wolverine. Again,
Yeah.
I've been engrossed in mutant shit this whole week, but like, you know, seeing him, I was like, okay, I'm sold. I need to watch this, and it's striking how the game matches a lot of that performance in particular. Which I'll go ahead. I will write a review for Renegade Pop Culture once I
Nice.
finish the game because I'm almost done with it.
Cool. Also, one little thing that I did forget to mention, I'm sorry, I know this is a long episode, but, you know, one more thing, which is that, like, G4.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
G4 is coming back.
G4 is coming back apparently in 2021, which we don't know what the extent of it is going to be. We don't know what, like, the format's going to be. We don't know who the hosts are, but it's Wow, how weird is that? And you know what was funny was that like the week previous to them actually coming back on Twitter, I was actually watching like old like Attack of the Show and X-Play clips on YouTube. Just because like I just wanted to hear that, like, clearly the channel was on its last legs, you know, towards the end there, but like that combination of like Attack of the Show and like the way that they had their two hosts and they had like all the guys in the background, like the crew or what have you, and they were just like clapping along and like doing the, you know, the around the net countdowns and everything, like that to me, like there hasn't been a show like that with that sort of like crazy off the wall humor.
No,
And
there really hasn't.
yeah, and just like audience participation and stuff like that, like I get a big kick out of that. So for me, that was to see that announcement after I'd been kind of cramming a whole bunch of Attack of the Show clips. I was like, what?
Which I need Adam Sessler back in the studio for that.
Yeah, he ain't gonna do it.
He's not gonna do it, but
Highly
I know
doubt it.
he would be amazing to have back on that.
I don't think anyone is gonna do it other than maybe Kevin Pereira. Maybe he might go back. I don't know. But like I'm pretty sure that like Adam Sessler's out. I'm pretty sure Morgan Webb is out. I'm pretty sure like they would not
I know
go
for a
back.
fact Olivia Munn isn't coming back.
Oh no. Olivia Munn is over that. Yeah.
Stop trying to hit me.
No violence on this mental health show. Anyway.
Stop.
All right, guys. I think I do believe we have hit the moment of truth here. So this show has been going on for almost 3 hours. Yeah, I mean, well, minus like,
Oh yeah,
because the counter starts before we record. But
Watch out, Martin Scorsese. We're coming for your ass. Fuck off, Zack Snyder. Snyder cut who?
dear God.
Oh boy. Gwendolyn's not gonna like that comment.
Gwen, I'm sorry. Love you. I'm still gonna watch Snyder cut, but
We're still gonna have her on for the DCU show, I'm
we're
sure.
totally gonna have her.
We need to have
We
her
need
on.
someone who's a defender of Snyder.
It'll be interesting because I still want my friend Francisco to come back. He left Facebook.
Yeah. We'll get him back on.
Yeah, because it'll be great to have someone who's a pure defender and someone who's going to be a really, really on the opposite end, which, by the way, I'm voicing Zack Snyder in her video.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yes, sweet.
All right, guys. So anyway, where can the audience find you on social media?
I guess I'll go first. I don't know who's gonna go first. You can find me at literally YouTube, Tumblr, I guess, if you're feeling fancy, Twitter and Twitch at Organoid0.
Nice. All right, Jacob.
You can find me on Facebook. It's Jacob Krehbiel, Krehbiel. I am also part of the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group.
All right, Mike.
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at CaptainK42. Check out all my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And eventually, Brock and I will start our, I guess, fresh takes series.
Next weekend. It's next weekend for sure. I know
Next
we can
weekend
do it next
on
weekend,
Organoid
yes.
Zero.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, we should share that on the website actually too. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'd be very okay with that.
All right. And Josh and Kristal.
Kristal, you go first. You're on
Okay.
Trump's hit list now.
Oh no, that's right.
What?
It's because you can find me on Twitter and TikTok, but
Oh,
not
yes.
for very long.
Oh, yeah.
At simply_ragu816, and you can also find me on Facebook under my name Kristal Gillum, and I'm also on the Renegade Pop Culture Facebook group. And you,
And me,
longest
you can
one.
find me on YouTube at JoshBoy64. I've got a video on Logan for the One Excellent Scene playlist that's going to be coming later this week. You can find me on Twitter at JSH Lozano, where I post random stuff and I go off about Charlie Min, that asshole. You can find me in the Renegade Pop Culture group in the Facebook group. I have a picture of me smiling. I look pretty okay, if I do say so myself. And you can find me on the website. I occasionally do write-ups, and sometimes I'll post my videos if I actually get the motivation to do it. And you can support me on Patreon if you want to hear me talk nonstop and see me get paid for it. You can donate just $1. It helps out a lot because I miss being a breadwinner, but I also don't miss going to work. So please help me out. I'm dying over here. And Patreon, Joshua Lozano.
Awesome. All right. And you can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Keona Tang. That's KeonaTang. You can also find Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. That's capital REN, capital POP, capital CULTURE. And renegadepopculture.com is the website, so please go to it, and I promise we will have more content up on there. Trying to get writers for the website, so anybody who's interested, just email us or let us know somehow, send us a private message, do whatever, just get in contact with us. I don't know, send a carrier pigeon. Also on Twitter as well at Ren Pop Culture, and on Instagram you can find me at Neoplasmic24. So awesome.
Nice.
All right, guys, we will talk to you later. We got more content coming this week, and after that we have some X-Men related goodness, hopefully.
Yeah.
And so Brock will be back for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I also have a one-on-one interview with this upcoming actress cosplayer named Michaela. So that's going to be a fun one on Thursday. Yeah, so she's going to be, she's on Twitter too, so you can find her there. All right, and we will talk to you guys later. Peace out.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.